my actual soulmate, the woman whose love illuminates my spirit. We had a difficult time coming together. It was full of difficult times. There was no magic to it. After going through some difficult moments, we felt our love would last. Here's how we got together. When I was small, I felt most connected to my grandmother Louise Albright on my father's side. My grandfather, Gavin, died from a heart condition when I was a baby. I had heard that Grandpa Gavin was an excellent lawyer who wished for my father, Henry, to follow in his footsteps. But Dad did not want to. He enjoyed working with his hands and discovered his talent for cabinetry in high school. So he learned more about it, founded his own business, and raised a family. My older sister Paula married her high school boyfriend and began her own family. Grandma Louise informed us that Grandpa Gavin wanted one of us grandkids to pursue a legal degree so that the family might have another lawyer. He even saved money to pay for our undergraduate education at Wake Forest University so we would not be in debt. My sister Paula was offered the same opportunity but declined. She didn't like the law either. I didn't mind the notion of being a lawyer and believed it was worth considering because I wouldn't have to worry about college debt if I obtained my JD degree, which piqued my interest in the United States, to be an attorney. You must obtain a JD degree after completing your first degree. It's significant because it implies you can become a lawyer after completing a bachelor's degree, which typically takes 4 years if attended full-time, plus 3 years to obtain the Juris Doctor, bringing the total length of law school to around 7 years. Jack Kalshore was my college companion for 5 of the 7 years. We share similar musical tastes, interests, legal perspectives, and even preferences for women. We always watched out for one another and concentrated on our schoolwork. We were there to learn and acquire our degrees. Time passed, and while studying became tedious and difficult, participating in mock trials piqued my attention. I loved the challenge. I wanted to help individuals and was lured to become a defense attorney. My communication style assisted me in extracting truths from individuals who sought to conceal them. I wasn't the best student, but I did finish in the top 10% of my class. I was concerned about the bar test, but my hard work paid off, and I passed it the first time 10 months after graduating. My grandmother was extremely proud of each step I took. She intimated that she could assist me acquire a job when I was ready. Thanks to her connections from my grandfather's days, Jax and my parents threw us a joint college graduation party. We were such good friends and had visited each other's residences frequently throughout the years. At the gathering, the most beautiful girl entered. Jack and I gazed at each other, thinking the same thing. She was stunning. We both wanted to say hello, but we realized we needed to do it fairly. We decided to play rock, paper, scissors. After I lost, Jack wanted to play. Best 2 of 3. He was furious that I beat him the next 2 times, but he eventually gave in and wished me luck, but not in a pleasant way, Jack and myself. We met some girls in college, but we never dated. We focused more on our schoolwork. Cindy Wilkinson was something else. She was nice, stylish, clever, and entertaining. Oh, and she had large breasts. It turns out she was Thad's cousin. He brought her so he wouldn't appear alone. But then, he ran into an ex-girlfriend at the party, leaving Cindy alone. She didn't mind and appeared pleased to meet me. I attempted to be pleasant and stayed with her the entire night. It was difficult to look her in the eyes, if you get what I mean. I told her I'd make sure she got home safely. He simply winked at her. That marked both the beginning of our relationship and the conclusion of my single life. Jack was quite upset. When we took the bar test together, he came up just short of passing. I spent 6 months helping him study again. We met up 4 times every week. He was my best friend. And this is what you do for each other. He passed the test on his 2nd attempt. He couldn't thank me enough for the assistance. My grandmother advised me to apply for jobs at A, B, and C Law LLP. I inquired if my pal Jack may also apply for a job there, since we were like family. She stated that she would see what she could do. We both had interviews and job offers the next day. We could not believe our luck. I and Cindy were both lawyers at the same firm, but we worked for separate employers, so we didn't have much time to hang around during the day. Cindy and I spent most weekends seeing movies, eating out, or dancing. Cindy learned one day that I met her for the first time by chance. She laughed a lot but did not explain why. When we first went out, Cindy sat next to me and Jack sat in front of her. Cindy interrupted Jack's talk about our college days with a hilarious cough. "Look here, Jack, you can do it, I know," she replied with a laugh. When Jack realized he had been staring at her chest for too long, his cheeks turned bright red. "Sorry, Cindy, I got lost in your beauty," he said. "If you look closer, you'll notice there's more to me," she teased. I laughed as Cindy put Jack in his place without offering a clever reply. Jack eventually gave up, and we continued to have a good time. Cindy even danced with Jack to be pleasant when I sat down. After we departed, I told her how quickly she dealt with Jack's stupid act. "I've seen a lot of Jacks," she explained. "It's hard to find someone like you who sees more than just my chest. That is what I like about you. I know Jack quite well. He means no harm." I replied, "I know that. Or I wouldn't have flirted with him," she explained. Jack was still searching for the ideal one. 6 weeks after we discussed it, Donna Herndon showed up at a public pool. She looked beautiful in a bikini, but not as eye-catching as Cindy, who has a really large bust. Cindy frequently complained about her back pain and considered getting her chest smaller. She made a joke about her super-strong bras. One side of her chest was slightly larger, and she had large red nipples. Aside from her large bosom, she always drew my eye. Cindy had really long brown hair that came down to her buttocks. She used it effectively to avoid making her chest stick out too much. I told her that I truly liked her hair and hoped she wouldn't chop it. Jack didn't spend much time with us when he started seeing Donna. After their third date, we began going out together. Donna was fantastic. She resembled a model with red hair, which Jack admired. They got along quite well and never fought. Cindy and Donna also became good friends. Jack and I discovered that they told each other everything, which we were not pleased about, but it didn't cause any difficulties, so we didn't say much. After all, Jack and I had been housemates in college for 5 years, and we knew a lot about each other. For whatever reason, the girls decided to try ballroom dancing. Jack and I only knew the fundamental slow dance, but we were soon taking dance lessons twice a week. It actually helped us feel more confident in ourselves. We learned the basic steps and were able to dance without looking stupid. By the end, we weren't experts, but we could dance very well. We four had a great time dancing thanks to our new moves at A, B, and C Law. We occasionally took on free cases to train beginners. Our firm was connected to the Public Defenders Network. When everything was peaceful, my guide and boss, Lou Bonelli, pushed me into a difficult situation with a case he believed couldn't be won. However, he maintained that the accused deserved a fair battle. He thought it would teach me how to deal with loss well. At first, I didn't want this case. I want to assist the innocent achieve justice, and this appeared to be a clear case of a drug trade gone wrong. Still, I believed my client deserved my best efforts, regardless of his culpability. Santiago Rodriguez was a 19-year-old bilingual Latino man. Fortunately for me, we did not need a translator. He was apprehended in a drug raid following a tip-off to the cops. What piqued my interest was the lack of substantial proof. He was arrested with a gun with no serial number, but was not spotted swinging it around. He wasn't caught trading cash for narcotics. At least nothing was proven to the day. He felt bad for being there. I went deeply into the prosecution evidence. I extensively reviewed all of the police camera tapes. The only thing that was obvious was his presence, which was not a crime in itself. I spoke with all of the witnesses and those who had been arrested alongside him. In my perspective, my strategy for his defense was sound. He was my sole concentration. I couldn't compare the other guy's difficulties to his. After demonstrating that Santiago's mere presence did not imply any wrongdoing, I convinced the prosecutor to allow me to take his case alone. It only took me 5 minutes to persuade them. When they asked him in court, we told them he didn't do it. He was young, and this struck me as weird. He had no one come to see him, and the judge refused to allow him leave before the trial. I want to make a point. I did a lot of effort on his defense. Lou Bonelli, one of the firm's senior executives, was not pleased with how much time I spent, but he appreciated how I intended to speak in court. I gave it all I had. I mentioned a previous situation in which you couldn't blame someone for having a gun with missing serial numbers. When I got to question the folks who said he was a part of it, I made it obvious that simply believing he did it was insufficient to establish anything. The trial lasted 4 days, and then they claimed Santiago did not do it. It was my first significant success as a lawyer, and Santiago and I were both overjoyed. 2 days after everything was finished, I was on my way to lunch when a luxury sedan pulled up and a man invited me to meet his boss. I saw no danger, so I said sure. Inside the automobile, a man dressed in a really good suit greeted me. "Good afternoon, Mr. Albright. Thank you for giving me a little of your time. Do you enjoy steak, Mish?" I was taken aback and responded, "Call me Miche. And yeah, I enjoy a good steak." He took a quick photo and told the driver to get to Beef Palace. "We cannot waste this kind man's time." The motorist made a quick left and sped off as instructed. "Sorry for not saying it sooner. Mich, I am Miguel Lascano. Ever heard of me?" After some thinking, I responded, "I knew Heriberto Lascano, a notorious nasty man in Mexico, but he's long gone." "Yes. My brother certainly built a name for himself. Me? I stay out of the spotlight." I suddenly felt a cold. He noticed my worried expression and laughed lightly. "Take it easy. Micah, I am here to thank you. You're a nice man, and I'm all about thanking individuals who have helped me or my—" "Thank you for what? We have never met. Should I know you?" "Not me. Micah. But Santiago Rodriguez, my boy, knows you well. He found himself in a difficult situation, and you stepped up to aid someone you didn't know. I'm quite grateful for that. What about your boy?" "Yes. His mom and I were never together, so he took our last name. My profession is dangerous, therefore I kept away from him and his mother to ensure their safety. If my adversaries were aware of Santiago, they might pursue them. But he is my blood. I would do everything for him. I had to remain away from your work while defending him so that no one could connect the dots. But I followed every step. I needed to thank you for everything you did for him." We got to the steakhouse and placed our order. Beef Palace is a classy and expensive restaurant known for its high-quality meals and stylish atmosphere. Miguel invited me, so I assumed he would pay for our supper. "Miguel, I just tried my best for your child, like I would for anyone, regardless of their family. And that is why I would like to thank you personally, Micah. You are a good lawyer, which is something I cannot say about many." The food arrived swiftly. The steak was really tender. It tasted incredible. And I told Miguel I was really enjoying his treat. This is a minor issue, Micah. We all have to eat, right?" "No, but I really want to thank you. You helped my son for free. A prominent lawyer may have cost me a fortune, but you did that for nothing. Garcia has a case in the car with a lot of cash for you. I want you to have it as a thank you." I knew Miguel's name was associated with negative things from Mexico. I didn't want any bad money that would cause complications later. Furthermore, if he gave me too much, he could believe I owed him later. I wanted to ensure that he did not give me the money. It would be difficult to explain to my bank. "Miguel, I understand why you want to offer this to me, and it means a lot, but I can't handle it. Please understand. I became a lawyer because I wanted to help people achieve justice, not to earn rich. If I take your money, it contradicts all I stand for. Does this make sense?" Miguel was astonished. I did not want his money. I hoped he didn't get it wrong and go for payback. He paused for a long 15 seconds before saying, "Micah, you caught me off guard. I thought people like you didn't exist anymore. Who says no to cash nowadays? But I understand your positive side and your decision. Still, I can't simply walk away like that. I have a reputation for paying my bills on time. And I owe you, Big Micah. This is what I will do." Miguel pulled out a card with his name and contact information. He flipped it, typed another number, and handed it to me. "This is a unique technique to get me. I'd give you my own phone number, but it changes from time to time. But this service remains the same. Call at any moment. Please leave your name and phone number, and I will give you my word. I'll get back to you quickly. This is my IOU, and you can use it at any time. Micah, it doesn't matter what you ask. If I can do it, it is yours. My son means everything to me and to him. Ask me anything, anything. I get it." He winked at the end. "Thank you, Miguel. I see that you mean what you say. I'll keep this close and pledge to contact you if I think you can help." He smiled. We shook hands and ate one of the nicest lunches ever. After returning to my work, I felt loved yet a little apprehensive of who. I kept Miguel Lascano a secret from everyone, especially Cindy, because it would immediately go to Donna, then Jack, and who knows how many more people at the company would pressure me to tell the cops. I would rather be on his good side, therefore I stayed mum. After liberating 19-year-old Santiago Rodriguez, I put the card in my bank safe. My heart was bent on becoming a lawyer who works for free. Cindy and I got really close. She emailed me a song. Chantel Krabby Isaac described "feels like home" as making her think of us. We went on double dates with Jack and Donna and had a great time each time. Jack and I planned to propose on the same night, planning a double wedding. Our idea worked perfectly, and the girls were overjoyed to contribute to our funds. We organized a lavish wedding that wowed the girls. We only had enough money left for the honeymoons, which Jack and I withheld from the girls. They wanted us to go on a shared honeymoon, but Jack and I decided to preserve that part for ourselves. They went to Cosmo, and we went to Grand Cayman. Certain experiences, such as honeymoons, are simply more memorable. Alone. On this, Jack and I agreed. My first year as a lawyer, I earned $72,648. I could have earned more, but I elected to remain as a public defender. Cindy earned $26,232 a year as a high school art teacher. Together, we earned $98,880. Not quite $100,000. We lived comfortably but had little more. Jack and Donna had it easier financially. Jack made 50% more than me while working on high-profile defense matters. Donna's career as a CPA began with a salary double that of Cindy. They had finer automobiles and a larger home in a fancy neighborhood. Still, money never stood in our way. Cindy and I were equally thrilled as Donna and Jack. Money is not an issue for best friends. We continued to hang out once a week, usually on Saturday nights. The ladies liked their fizzy drinks, and we were delighted to indulge them. We mainly hit the dance floors and clubs, swapping dance partners and having a great time together. Jack and I both carried my grandmother's casket at her funeral. He owed her a lot because she helped him get his job. The doctor diagnosed her with a heart infection, but my father believed she died of heartache when Grandpa died. I am going to miss her a lot. She was the sweetest soul. When I was feeling sad, Jack and Donna were immediately there for me. Everything she had went to my father. She had been incredibly generous to me, especially with my school expenses. Cindy attempted to do art to supplement her income due to her extensive understanding of the subject. She painted a variety of subjects, including landscapes, portraits, the sea, and snowy woodlands. They looked great, but selling them was another issue. After years and nearly 50 pieces, not one sold. She ended up giving them away as wedding or birthday gifts to our friends and family, but she never made a profit from her artwork. Cindy's phone usage was one of the things that bothered me the most. She stated she couldn't hear properly unless she used the speakerphone. It concerned me that she thought it was okay to allow everyone around her listen in on her conversations, making it appear as if she was bragging. Because of this, I had to make sure she was alone whenever I phoned to preserve our private flirting conversations between us. With this in mind, I rarely phoned her until I knew she was home alone. If she wasn't around, I always kept our conversations simple. Yes, she was one of those people who didn't mind if others listened in on their conversations. I tried hard, but I couldn't persuade her to quit this disrespectful behavior. If that's her biggest flaw, I'm still really lucky. When we were close, we used to listen to everything Lifehouse released. The song felt like it was written for us, with its deep lyrics and melody that builds to a powerful emotional conclusion. Time went by quickly. 5 years to be exact. Our friendships remained solid even though Jack and Donna earned far more money than us. We didn't feel jealous. We were simply pleased for them. The ladies were chatting about becoming mothers. Jack was prepared, but I wanted to wait for a better financial situation. Cindy understood where I was coming from, but she did not want to wait any longer. Donna waited so that she and Cindy might have babies at the same time. Oh, women! Cindy approached me excitedly. Micah, it appears that I'm about to strike it big. Donna has a friend who is quite knowledgeable about art, and they saw some of my work today. They plan to display them soon. How cool is that? Of course, they will take a share of each sale, but that is how it works. That's amazing, love. I had trust that it would happen, I said, trying to sound enthusiastic. What is the gallery's name? It is not the local one. Everton City is located 3 states away. Donna's sister-in-law works there currently. It is named Artistic Expressions. She is visiting Donna and Jack this week. I've already met her and handed her all of my artwork. She's so happy, I said. I'm happy for you, Cindy. I hope your artwork sells like hotcakes. Let me know if there are any. Sell the cool bit, Micah. The gallery promised to bring us right away if an item sold. I gave them our number so we wouldn't miss their call. She was beaming. I hugged her and pecked her on the head, encouraging her. I didn't believe her mediocre art would attract anyone's attention, but what do I know about art? I would never tell Cindy that, though. Anything seemed strange that neither Jack nor Donna had mentioned anything to me. Perhaps they didn't want to raise our hopes too much. It made sense at work. All of the lawyers gathered for a huge discussion. We learned about major situations and how to best utilize our personnel. Jack discussed his plans to recruit new clientele on the West Coast. We're thinking of creating a small office in California. We all enjoy the idea. Mixing work trips with vacation time sounded appealing. We told Jack to go for it, even if it meant he'd be gone for a while. We knew he'd do well. Cindy was depressed a month later since no one had purchased her artwork to cheer her up. We all headed to our favorite local restaurant for dinner. The venue included live music and plenty of space for dancing. We enjoyed demonstrating our dance abilities. After a short interval, Jack requested Cindy to be his dance partner. So Donna and I partnered up as soon as we started dancing. The band played guitar and was ideal for the tango, which Jack and I loved with our partners. When the song concluded, they transitioned to La Peseta, a well-known tango song. Donna danced as flames lit up the room. She moved in ways that had me all worked up, making sure our bodies remained close. Then the music slowed, with the girl from Ipanema, even though I wanted to sit. Donna drew me closer for more dance. I noticed that Jack and my wife were still dancing to Donna, whispered to me, sticking close, although I tried to retain some distance. "Micah, you appear a little stiff. We danced so good together. I'm really into this. I wish we could continue right here, but we know that is not going to happen. What I truly want is for us to escape and blow off steam. I've wanted you for a long time and now had the confidence to say it. Donna, you are lively and full of energy, but Jack's like a brother to me. I cannot cross that line. I apologize if you had other thoughts. These dances were wonderful, but I need to rest now." I let go of our hands and returned to the table. Donna seemed sad and stayed close by. I couldn't understand why Donna became so agitated all of a sudden. Perhaps it was the steamy tango dance. We used to laugh and flirt, but nobody had considered going too far. I considered Jack a dear friend and would never want to injure him. Cindy and Jack joined us after we had sat down. I tried to seem normal, hoping they wouldn't notice anything was wrong. I wondered whether Donna was afraid I would inform her husband. I liked Jack too much to say anything. His wife might not be faithful. I chose to stay away from Donna in that way to avoid any trouble. Donna glanced at me a few times while the others were distracted, but I did not return her gaze. We returned to dancing with our own wives. Cindy didn't say anything about Donna or myself, so I kept silent too. Later, Jack invited my wife to dance again. I went to the bathroom to avoid talking to Donna. I kept away till they finished dancing. Cindy commented on the drive home that you seemed to keep your distance from Donna following those tango dances. "It's all good. I wasn't going to bring it up, but now that you've asked, I'll tell you what she said to me while we were dancing and how I felt." I shared. Cindy laughed. Jack and I were the same, except we didn't converse. We were simply caught up in the dancing. It happens during the tango. It's normal. What did you say back? I told her that her husband was my best friend and I couldn't break his trust. I am not going to tell him about it. But I will not dance with Donna again. I explained that I didn't want to start anything. Isn't it too much, dear? They're our best friends, right? Don't you think you're doing too much? You aren't unhappy that one of your best friends attempted to entice me into bed? You already know that I don't cheat. Of course I understand, silly. That's why I'm not concerned. It requires two to make it happen. And sure, I intended that joke. You always act properly with Donna, and I completely trust you. That is why I believe you are making too much of this. I don't want to get in problems with them. Cindy, please listen. I'm delighted you believe in me so much. I feel the same way about you, but I don't want it to happen again. We'll continue to hang out with them like we have before, but I will not dance with her again. I just feel compelled to do this. I'd like it if you didn't dance with Jack for a while too, if that is okay. I can't compel you to dance with her, she said, clearly disappointed. I believe you are being foolish, but that is just how you are. I love you. You are a big goof. We continued going out with Donna and Jack. Donna did not bring up her feelings for me again. When Jack asked Cindy to dance, she agreed. Later, he told me that saying no would be harsh. She hoped that I would alter my mind. Donna invited me to dance, and I politely declined, not implying that I intended to follow through. Because I didn't enjoy Cindy dancing with Jack, I danced with every other lady there, leaving no time to dance with my wife. She did not like that. During one trip to the restroom, Jack followed me. "What up, Micah?" The girls told me about their tango with Donna, and you've been gone since. "So what?" Donna flirted. "You said no, so it's finished. You don't need to ignore her, Jack. You are like a brother to me." I stayed quiet about what happened because I respect our relationship. It bothers me that my wife disclosed you my secrets. I value our friendship too much to mess up with Donna. I danced with her, and she felt we could be more than just friends. I'm making certain that doesn't happen again, man. I assumed folks like you didn't exist anymore. Listen, I get your point. You're incredibly honest. Just dance with both of them again and stop the drama. It makes you appear horrible to both ladies. Their eyes. Now you're teaching me about my marriage. Thank you for your suggestion, Jack. But I will handle my connection in my own way. You do your thing. I do not tell you how to cope with Donna. Come on, you're making a huge issue over nothing. Let's just have fun tonight. Fun? Jack, I'm having a blast dancing. I don't have to put up with that. I returned to dance with everybody who asked. Jack needed to dance with his wife or she would be left out. Cindy has a large fan base due to her attractive appearance. While Jack and Donna danced, Cindy danced beside other guys to make me jealous. I thought that was only fair, but most importantly, Donna did not try anything else with me. I received exactly what I wanted, even if it rattled things up. After that night, Jack received the message. At other gatherings, he just danced with his wife, leaving Cindy entirely to me. Both girls disliked what I did, but they couldn't make me behave otherwise. Cindy spoke up while driving at night. "Do you realize how much you are making me feel bad? Your best friend believes you have a negative attitude toward his wife right now. My best friend has no idea how to resolve the situation with you. You will only be near her for a short period of time. You will not dance with her after being comfortable with them for so long. Do you realize how nasty and hurtful that is to them? Cindy, she wanted to sleep with me, for goodness sake. You appear to be fine with this. If you told me Jack wanted to sleep with you, I'd cease being his friend immediately. I would never put up with that." She was shocked. "You would end a lengthy friendship simply because a man asked me that?" "Yes, straight away. I would not want you to be near him again." Cindy was quiet for the rest of the ride. I hope she understood what I meant. I believe she will tell Donna and Jack later. Monday morning was like most Mondays. Cindy and I said we loved each other. She promised to fetch us clean clothes because most of them were hers. I said I'd get dinner, and we headed to work. That night, I was a little late since I ordered Chinese food. When I pulled in, I noticed something white on the front door. We always enter through the garage, so I decided to examine what flyers were left later as the garage door opened. Cindy didn't appear to be home yet. Her day concluded before mine. Even if she was collecting our dry clothes, she would still arrive home first. I went in, took off my shoes, and left the meal on the table while I changed. I called Cindy to ask why she was late. It just rang. Then it goes to voicemail. It was unusual for her not to answer the phone, but I assumed she was close to home. I didn't worry too much. I went to dispose of a flyer at the door, but it wasn't a flyer. It was a sealed letter signed by Mr. Albright. It seemed serious, so I opened it. "Mr. Albright, I've abducted your wife, Cindy, an art instructor. I've wanted her for months. I got what I wanted. She's well for now. It's up to us to keep her that way. If you both do what I say, she will return. Fine. I want her with me for at least 2 weeks. This note cannot be traced. Yours are the only prints on it. Don't speak with the officers if you do, or if you don't follow exactly what I say. I will keep her for 4 weeks. If you contact the police, I will be notified. I have options. Right now, she isn't listening. I won't touch her unless she freely accepts what I desire. So I'm going to make her hungry and thirsty until she agrees. You can help her avoid starvation. If you don't care, then do nothing to keep her safe and healthy. You must persuade her to do what I request, fully. It is in your hands. Here is your task. Handwrite these exact words with a pencil. Don't change anything, Cindy. Always do your best to follow instructions. Give your entire self. No holding back. Our love will see us through. Take a snapshot of your note. Share it on your Facebook page by midnight tomorrow. I will make sure she sees it. She'll recognize it as yours because of the handwriting. Others may be puzzled, but she will understand. It means she must listen to everything I say until she is free. The envelope contains a USB stick. It contains a unique application from the shadowy corners of the internet. Plug it into your PC. It will determine whether the PC is yours or the police's. Believe me, it can tell. It will create a covert link on your desktop for a hidden cloud account before destroying itself. It's a one-time thing. Do not squander it on the cops. After Cindy and I had been together, I will upload video highlights from our time together to that cloud account. You must watch each video completely using the link. Cindy is the person you know best. Observe her, listen to her, and count the genuine moments of joy in each video. Post. Just a number on Facebook. The following day. There's nothing else. Just a number. If there is none, post a 0. Only you and I will understand what this means. Observe her. Don't miss anything. If your guess is incorrect, she should stay with me. Doubles. Albright, you should know. Being a part of this is just as important as what she's in. I want you to be okay with what she does to me while also feeling awful about it. Go against me, and you might lose her forever. More video content is on the way. I am not after your money. What I want is to do whatever I want with her, and you must stay up after seeing our films. Continue working at your current employment. Act normal around people. Don't spend too much time away from work. If you do, I'll know. Remember, the responsibility is yours. What happened to her? Your wife has a secret fan. I knew our lives were about to alter. Huge. I was unsure what to do. I will do everything for Cindy. She is my everything. I considered how afraid and alone she may feel if I called the cops. He promised to make her remain with him longer. But if I don't, I'm only making everything worse and putting her in danger. When someone goes missing, it is said that the first day is crucial. I felt the USB within the envelope and took it out. Simply easy to find. It's all shiny. It appeared clean. There are no prints on it. I couldn't risk the police seizing it. It might jeopardize my chance to perform as he asked. So I did what the kidnapper instructed. As the letter stated, it connected to my PC, set itself up, and cleaned the USB. I saw it firsthand when it was completed. Hitting the link led me to a cloud with no files. There is nothing there yet. My hands were shaking. I was terrified for my wife. The kidnapper said he knew my wife from her profession teaching art and that he had taken her. It may be a coworker or someone she knows. My mind were racing, but I couldn't decide what to do next. This was a challenging position like no other. I needed to talk to someone I trusted. I called my friend Jack. Hello, Jack. It's me. Hello, Micah. Good. Did you call? I'll be traveling to the West Coast soon to meet with some new people who want to open a new office there. How are things going? Have any big plans with Cindy this weekend? If not, could you or Cindy check on Donna periodically while I'm away? I don't want her to feel all alone. Oh, I almost forgot you were leaving. Sadly, Cindy and I will not spend much time together. What happened? Did you guys quarrel again? If only I could trust Jack to keep a big secret between us and not tell Donna. What are you saying? Of sure, you can trust me. I've never revealed your secrets before. I'm not going to inform Donna or anyone, Jack. You really can't tell anyone what I'm going to say. Okay, I get it. What's causing you so much stress? I then informed him of the note and read it to him. Wow. Micah, do you believe this is real? The USB and web link are valid, but the online folder is now empty. I appreciate your input, Jack. Should I call the police? Without a question. But you have to be subtle. Someone might be keeping an eye on your house. Suggest that the officers keep it quiet, just between you, them, and me. Maybe meet them somewhere normal, like a cafe. To keep Cindy safe, they should not wear their uniforms. The first day is extremely essential, Micah. Promise me that you'll call them shortly after we hang up. Perhaps I should cancel all of these meetings or have one of the team members cover for me. You need me right now. Right. Until we figure this out. Thanks for staying close, Jack. However, you are the most effective deal maker. Nobody else can match you there. Drop it. Micah, we're discussing Cindy's safety here. I have to be by your side. I got to act like everything was normal. As the note stated, Jack, go ahead with your plans. I will take your tip and call the cops. Thank you, bud. Okay, at least let me contact Donna. She is on her own. There was nothing big on her platter. She'll blame me for keeping her in the dark. Let her come by. Be there for you. She will not make any moves. Promise? I got it, Jack. It is just, I want to keep it tight. This is not worldwide news. It is not Donna. Really? I really can't risk it. You need to keep this tight. It's just us. Okay, okay. I get it. I don't enjoy it, but I understand it. Just make this vow, Micah. Please contact me if anything comes up, if you have any new information, or if you simply want to talk. I don't care whether I am with the biggest star. I am there. You are never alone. Okay. Thank you, Jack. You've always been solid. Now go knock them out. I'll contact the cops once we're out. I'm talking to my best friend. Made me feel a little better. Jack has a sharp mind, and I trust him. I was on the fence about contacting the cops. Glad he pushed me. It's the correct move. I was under the impression that you had 2 days to report someone missing. Because I had the note, the cops corrected my mistaken assumptions. The wicked people have fled. I made them meet me in simple clothes at the mall's food court. I informed them that I couldn't reach Cindy yet. After completing some forms and discreetly collecting my prints, they took the memo to review. I already had a copy. I also provided them Cindy's hairbrush for print checks. They then stated that the memo included simply my prints, and that the tape on it was too common to be useful. They inquired about Cindy's whereabouts after work. She was going to collect our clean clothing before returning home. I sent them all I knew about her, along with a new photo. They say that when a wife goes missing, the husband is the first to be noticed. Even if he told them about it, they said I'd have to go to the station to give a thorough written account. They told me to stay at home and wait for their call. Soon after Detective Cassandra Jennings contacted me, she informed me that Cindy's automobile had been recovered near the dry cleaners. Her suitcase and clean clothes were still inside her locked car. They were checking for prints. There was a camera in the parking lot. She said that a simple white van obscured the camera's view of Cindy's actions. The van had a fictitious plumbing company name and phone number on it. There was no such company. The driver's window was covered with a dark sheet. The person who was hiding inside the truck had a new type of license, meant for a recently purchased Toyota Camry. This tag did not match the 65-year-old woman who owned it. Someone seems to have photographed her car tag, printed it, and pasted it on cardboard to place on the kidnapper's vehicle. The original tag was still with the owner. The cops interviewed many persons but discovered no one who had witnessed the crime yet. The video from the dry cleaner and the note left by the kidnappers convinced the cops that my concerns were legitimate. No one around our house noticed anything unusual. They checked where I was on the day the message was placed on my door, and my work friend stated that I was at work when she was stolen. The USB had no useful information. The police computer technician discovered a web link on my computer but was unable to determine where it originated. For the time being, every clue has led nowhere. The kidnappers had been smart and cautious, but Cassandra reminded me that every bad man makes mistakes at some point. We just needed to wait. Tracing the origin of any video seemed to be our greatest chance of finding them. Cassandra instructed me to compose the note to Cindy, as they requested that the kidnappers remain calm. I posted it on Facebook as they instructed without adding anything further. A closer examination revealed that the main prints on Cindy's automobile were hers and mine. There were a few other prints, possibly those who had taken her, but none matched the long list of names they had. They handed me her vehicle bag and phone back. I left it in the garage. The house felt incredibly empty without her. All I could do was hope. Cassandra informed me that they were pursuing every possible lead. They didn't have anything solid, though. She assumed there were 2 people engaged because the van didn't need to open its side door, and it all happened in less than 15 seconds. She also stated that the rough words in the note appeared to be from someone who were not used to much school and may have worked with their hands more. She inquired again whether I knew somebody like that. I could not imagine of anyone who would wish to hurt my wife in this way. I did not sleep at all that night. Monday morning, I received a call from an unknown number on my cell phone. Hello? Is this Mr. Albright? Yes, it's me. What can I do for you? I'm glad I got you, sir. My name is Madeline Gunderson from Artistic Expressions Art Gallery. We attempted to contact Cindy Albright, but were unable to do so for unknown reasons. You were listed as another person to contact. I'm sorry, Madeline, but Cindy won't be able to come to the phone for long. Is there any way I can help? Oh, don't worry, sir. Your wife left some of her artwork here to see if it would sell. This call is only to let you know. Someone who wished to remain anonymous purchased 3 of her pieces. The amount from the sale was $6,900. We charge $500 per piece for our portion. So we sent $5,400 into your combined bank account as she requested. I apologize. Did you say $5,400 was already put in? Yes, sir. That's correct. Cindy's art appeared to be in high demand, which boded well for future sales. Driven by curiosity, I inquired as to who had purchased her 3 paintings. Was it one person? Cindy would like to express her gratitude. Sir, I cannot tell you that. Just that there was one buyer, but they preferred to remain secret. They never came to view the artwork here. They glanced at her paintings online. They paid with digital money, but did not provide their name. They just gave us a long number as payment. They mentioned that they might buy more. That is why we are hopeful. Can I keep that number for Cindy? Just a sixer. She went, then returned soon. Here it is. 5,225, 2933, 3464, 24,639. After writing it down, I double-checked that I had it correctly. That is right, sir. Is this how the numbers for digital payments typically appear here? Not at all, sir. It's bizarre. It resembles a name rather than a true banking number. I find it strange that someone would purchase unseen artwork from a new artist, just from photographs on the webpage. How can the buyer remain unknown? Where do they want the artwork sent? Nowhere, sir. We were instructed to retain them until they said to send them. We have no idea when that will be. We are only waiting for them to contact us again. Something felt odd, far too strange to be natural. Nothing Madeline said made sense. Thank you, Madeline. Can you quit selling for a while? Mr. Albright, why would you desire that? I promise you that the money we decided on is appropriate for a fresh artist like your wife. I'm not suggesting it is unfair, Madeline. It's simply that my wife is in a difficult situation right now, and I'm not sure she'll get through it. This could have a significant impact on the future value of her artwork. I'm wondering if you could hold off on selling any more till she gets through this. I apologize. I'd want to assist Mr. Albright, but only Cindy has the authority to amend or terminate our agreement. You are designated as a backup contact, but you cannot make decisions concerning her. Deal with us. I hope you received it. I'm let down, Madeline. I hoped we could agree on something. If we can't, I'll have to make it so your gallery can't honor their agreement with my wife. What do you mean? How will you accomplish that? I'll cancel the bank account tomorrow so it won't accept any additional funds. If you try to put money in for her, it will just be returned to you. Because you can't pay her for any sales, you'll be breaking your agreement with her. You will have all of the sales money, rendering the contract worthless. I am a lawyer, Madeline. I recommend that you postpone any future art sales unless she or her estate informs you otherwise. Alternatively, you may breach the contract, even if you intend good. Sir, this is really out there. It's hard to imagine you would jeopardize your wife's achievement. I apologize, but unless we hear from her or her legal representative, we will continue to sell her paintings on her behalf. I got it. Thank you for being straightforward with me. Since her phone is with me and is turned off, and after we finish talking, I'll block your number on mine. Please do not try to contact either of us again. So, Madeline, do not call us. We will call you. I ended the call. I wasn't ready for this right now. Cindy can work it out with them when she gets back, if she returns. To be honest, I was astonished. Any of her artwork sold. And for so much money, they'll continue to market her artwork, even though I had urged them not to. I'll let Cindy handle it later. I bet she would be delighted to meet her. The next day, Art finally starts making money. My secretary asked the gallery how to send money. I went to my bank immediately after she told me and sent them $5,400. When I realized they had received the money, I closed that account and transferred the remainder of my funds to a new one. This was to prevent any further odd money movements into or out of my account. I didn't add Cindy's name to the new account just yet. Cassandra called me Wednesday afternoon to provide an update. Good afternoon, Mr. Albright. We have some information for you that may assist us uncover a clue. A piece of spy software notify us that a video was uploaded to a cloud account. It was connected to your home computer. Our team is currently hunting for clues, and our computer experts are working to determine where the video came from. If we can track down the IP address of the person who posted it, we may be able to locate your wife. We'll let you know as soon as we have any news, she said. Cassandra, I appreciate the timely update. I can't bear the thought of my wife going through such horrible things. I would do anything to relieve her misery and put an end to this nightmare. "We're doing everything we can, sir." I clung on to hope. We needed answers immediately. She didn't discuss the videos. Maybe the details are to keep you from hurting me. I felt sick simply thinking about what it may reveal. Part of me needed to watch it right immediately to ensure she was still fine, but the notion of her being wounded made me angry and ill. My emotions were all over the place. I didn't have to go to court, so I left work early. I skipped getting food on the way home. I wasn't sure I could keep it down. Normally, dinner was a time for us to discuss our day, which had been cruelly cut short. My worry was out of control. Cindy had been taken from me, and I dreaded seeing her in the film, something she needed to do to keep alive. I wasn't prepared for it. My heart jumped as I saw Cindy on the television. She was standing there smiling as someone removed her garments one by one. There was some delicate, romantic jazz music playing. The first thing I noticed was that she was not tied up. Maybe they drugged her to make her agree to it. I could not determine what had happened to her. A man then carefully placed my wife on a bed while another person in the room recorded the event. The man who abducted her opened her legs and shaved her down till everything was gone. He repeated it 3 times to collect every hair. I searched for hints as to where she might be, but found none. The room was surrounded by large white sheets on 3 sides of the bed, concealing everything but one sheet hung from the wall above the bed. The video only showed her. The individual filming made sure to just display his own hands and arms, so we didn't know who he was. Only that he was a man with white skin. They didn't chat while he chopped her hair in a way that made her seem completely different. Cindy was lying down, and due to her build, her chest fanned out on each side. After cutting her hair, the film showed more of Cindy from above. What caught my eye was the jewelry she was wearing. It was tied around her neck, made of metal, and looked distinctive. She appeared calm and gazed directly out. That glance felt like it was focused directly at me, which was unsettling. Perhaps that is what the person filming wanted. There was another shock. Her stunning long hair had been cut short by a skilled stylist. Well, she didn't do it herself. Her nails were also a vibrant red, not the gentle pink she typically wore. She then turned over the tape, which showed her lying face down. The man began to massage her back with oil. We couldn't see clearly and became more intimate as time went on. After a while, he instructed her to flip over and began rubbing the front of her. We couldn't see him very well, only his hands and the black shirt he was wearing. He paid close attention to her chest. Then he reached down and touched her quite personally, after some close-ups of him touching her. The video then revealed her face. She appeared to be full of passion as she enjoyed his touches. After 5 minutes, her body shook and she breathed heavily, her chest pumping rapidly. Everyone could see her huge smile. The footage had definitely been edited. It then jumped to the man lying down where she took her turn to touch him. The camera focused on 2 things: how effectively she used her hands on him and the expression of pure passion on her face while she did it. My wife wasn't lying. She was very into it. At 16 minutes in, his breathing became choppy, a sign that he was close. Cindy expertly moved her hand to capture his climax. His climax came on her wedding rings, the symbols of our marriage. The camera pulled away. Her pleased smile indicated that she knew what she had done. She clearly tried to upset me, and it worked. The video then shifted to show what appeared to be the same man resting on his back in bed. Cindy went onto the bed, straddling him and leaning forward. Her chest hung low, and she positioned her nipples close to his mouth. He began sucking eagerly with one hand on her chest, loving the experience. The other hand was out of view, but the camera quickly moved to reveal more. Her legs were wide apart as the man reached for her most intimate spot. He was skillfully touching her, causing her to respond with powerful emotions. His fingers moved in such a way that she experienced intense pleasure. She gave out a loud cry of excitement as the camera captured every moment. It was obvious what was happening. The footage abruptly shifted, making me imagine that time had passed. It was evident that he was doing more with my wife. I had hoped she was trying not to give in, but then I remembered my post urging her to do whatever was asked. I felt compelled to pause the video. Seeing her react like this to someone who had taken her and was harming her broke my heart. I had to say things that made her agree with her evil people even if I didn't want to. It hurt my mind to watch it all happen. The image is really clear and sharp on the screen. I took a break and drank a drink to calm my nerves. I knew the videos would grow worse, and I needed to prepare for that. I too had to do my part, or her ordeal would linger longer. That concept was overwhelming for me. The following segment of the video displayed a message for 30 seconds. Mr. Albright said on Facebook, "Write the exact number of times your wife was happy in a special way when we first met. Remember, if you guess wrong or call the cops, she'll have to stay with me twice as long, from 2 weeks to 4. Make sure to watch the video several times to avoid missing any details. When you're certain, only post the number on Facebook." The thought of seeing that horrific film again made me nauseous, but I needed to get it perfect so she didn't have to stay with him any longer. I prayed the cops would find him soon and save her. Feeling impotent, I decided to take a quick break before watching it again. Meanwhile, I downloaded and installed an application that allows me to capture screen photographs on my computer. The video was protected from copying, but the tool I downloaded worked around that. I recorded the video, saved it, and labeled it after the date and time. I watched it again. I then wrote it 7 times. She was happy in a peculiar way on Facebook. No one else understood what it meant, but that was the only method to communicate with the criminal until he was apprehended. The next morning, Detective Cassandra Jennings came to see me. I was already awake, dressed, and invited her inside. "Good morning, Mr. Albright. We know you viewed the video and entered the correct number into your Facebook," she said. "Mike, I'm sorry I can't bring better news. Please, simply, Micah. We're beyond being formal here. All right, Micah. Our video crew reviewed everything. They were unable to identify any clear signs in the video's background. It might be a motel, someone's bedroom, or even their workplace. They made certain to obscure where it was shot. The bad guy dressed all black, making it difficult to see anything that could identify him. We just saw his hands and portions we wished we hadn't, but we know who he is based on that. It's a long shot. How about tracking how the video got online? That is another dead end. I'm afraid the guy behind this is more knowledgeable about the internet than we expected. We believed we had a lead when we discovered the IP address used to upload the video. It brought us to Arlene Robbins and Janelle Conklin, 2 women who lived together not far from here. We questioned them thoroughly. They were afraid, but knew nothing about it. We believed them. Anyone who was nearby could easily access their internet. Our guy appears to have simply parked nearby. They used their Wi-Fi and disappeared without a trace. We believe your wife is nearby because all of the video footage was uploaded from this area. We will catch whoever did this soon," she said. "It's difficult to say this, Micah, but we don't have much to go on yet. Are you certain you don't know someone who might wish to hurt her?" We checked with her co-workers to see whether it was related to her employment, but no luck. Nobody can imagine of someone who would be nasty to such a nice teacher as your wife. Cassandra, your attempts to cheer me up are failing. I was hoping you would have some clues by now. That is why I am here, Micah, to let you know that we will not stop. It's inevitable that the bad people will make mistakes. We will get them." Her grin did not convince me. I was delighted she arrived, but I hoped it was finished. Thinking about Cindy and her agony was too much. Jack called me about midday. "Hey, I haven't heard from you. Is there any positive news concerning Cindy? The police are stranded. The detective was just here. She stated that they will not stop. But the guys who kidnapped Cindy are clever. That's not good. Micah, I sincerely hope this ends quickly. As promised, they posted a video of Cindy. It broke me, Jack. I'm feeling quite stuck. I do not know what to do, damn it." He yelled. "Look, Micah, I know you said I should continue working out here. Forget it. I'm coming back tonight to be with you. I don't want you to face this catastrophe alone. No, Jack, thank you for wanting to assist. However, it would be far worse if the firm was also affected. I will make it through. Just knowing you'd leave everything to be with me helps a lot, friend." Dang. So what if I sent Donna to stay with you instead? She has a lot of leave from her CPA job, and tax season is over. That is so you, Jack, always looking for ways to help. But please keep this between us. Even the detective believes it's best that way. If you do not want us to tell Donna everything, we will not. Micah, I'll say Cindy had to leave for family reasons and she shouldn't ask you any questions. She can be your support while I'm away. Let us help, Micah. The people behind it say I need to keep working and acting normal. I left work early today to see the video they sent, but I need to return tomorrow. Furthermore, I would not be good company for Donna. Right now, Jack, but I want to thank you. Look, man, she can bring her cuisine over in the evenings and just hang out as a friend. And she's available on weekends. It is either me or her. If Donna won't stop by, I'll come tonight. Work or not, it's your call. You're making this difficult, Jack. The work you have is too important. You stay and manage it. If you are certain about Donna, tell her to call me. I'll meet up with her for supper and discuss. It'd be nice to see someone I know. That is more like it, Micah. I'll let her know as soon as we finish dinner. Then I'll tell her to be ready when her job ends today. And wait for your call this afternoon to schedule it for tonight. I'll tell her to take the rest of the week off to be available for you. Okay? If you don't call her, she will be at home alone, wondering why you don't like her. Call her Jack. He hung up. I consider Donna to be a friend. Both she and Jack have been wonderful to Cindy and me, but I'm still nervous about being alone with her. But given what's going on, I hope she sees. More than that is not appropriate at this time. We will see. Tonight. I honestly don't want any more turmoil in my life. To make it apparent, I chose to meet her at a restaurant frequented by families. It's only as friends. I texted Donna to meet at the Golden Corral at 7:30 p.m. This way, she understands it is casual. She texts back quickly. I'm pleased to meet you. Sitting with our meals. She gets straight into it. Micah, you look anxious. What up? Donna asks. I've got a lot on my mind. Thank you for coming tonight. I tell her that I have to. She chuckles a little. Jack said I had to be there for you while Cindy is away, but he told me not to question about it, so I won't. I'm not sure what's going on, Micah, but you two are my best buddies. I cannot understand why Cindy did not inform me about her issues. She typically does. But anyhow, how are you doing? Jack made it sound quite crucial for me to be off work. I stare at her. All I see is the genuine compassion she has always demonstrated. Donna does her hardest to be a nice friend. I didn't see any indicators. She wanted more from our conversation, so I loosened up. Yes, it appears she will be gone for some time. I wish I could say more, but it is best for her that I don't. Let's leave it there, okay? Sure. Micah, I am here for you for anything. You appear worried when you are worried. I'm here to help or simply listen. Whatever you need, simply ask. Thanks. This means a lot, I said pleasantly. Have you heard anything from Jack regarding his work since he left? He told me he had 3 new clients and hopes for more. It's sluggish, but he's optimistic. He wants 10 major clients before opening a new location there. He's confident he can do it. He, more than anybody else, is capable. I agreed. He's the finest. We discussed a variety of topics but did not address Cindy's situation. I could tell she wanted to know, but she followed Jack's wishes. I felt horrible about leaving her out of the loop. Micah, do you spend your days at home or at work? Still in the office? Keeps me busy? Why? I wanted to make us lunch at your house tomorrow, but dinner is fine if you say no. She shoved her off. Her demeanor was warm and compassionate. I didn't want to drag her into this while her partner was away. She didn't need the worry, but I agreed. I don't want to upset her. We exchanged short hugs and cheek kisses as we said our goodbyes. I watched her go to her car and then proceeded to mine. Luck was on my side that night. The cloud site had no new changes. I was relieved for the respite, yet deep inside, a searing ache arose from my rage and helplessness. I knew she was in pain, but none of us, including the cops, could do anything. The song Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone by Bill Withers was played repeatedly. I really missed my wife. Donna arrived shortly before dinner and prepared all of my favorite dishes. She is an excellent cook, so dinner was delicious. She showed me out of the kitchen, cleaned up, and did the dishes all on her own. She brought a movie she knew I enjoyed, and we watched it together. Not saying much. Her presence provided solace, taking my mind away from the hard reality that Cindy and I faced. The doorbell rang at 7 the next morning. Surprisingly, I slept well. Donna was there, cheerful as ever, and insisted on breakfast at Cracker Barrel. That sounded wonderful. I appreciate both the meal and her company. She managed to make me chuckle a little bit during our supper. She's been my best buddy for years. I couldn't help but think, Donna, if I could bottle your spirit and hope, I'd take the entire case. She grinned, illuminating the room. Then I felt nervous. It had been a week since Cindy was taken. I suspected additional videos might appear, so I asked Donna for some time off. She agreed and said she'd be back at work in a few days, but would check in with me once I was correct. Detective Cassandra then sent me a mail. Another video had surfaced, and they were getting close to determining its origin. She promised to keep me updated, so I had to wait. My palms shook as I prepared to watch the new video. The previous one was gone. Only the new link functioned. I've got paper and a pen ready to take notes. Cindy seemed to be happy whenever I thought of her. The video began just like the others, with white sheets around. The nasty guy, dressed in black, was lying down with his legs spread wide. My wife, Cindy, was on top of him, facing him. She was only wearing the same jewelry as previously. Tears welled up in my eyes as I considered all of the difficult training she must have had in order to be able to take in a larger and longer one than mine. My emotions were all over the place, with wrath and irritation mixed in. Then she stopped moving. Her eyes, which were fixed on the camera, rolled back as she burst into tears of ecstasy. It was real. Cindy was experiencing one of her greatest delights ever. 2 weeks after Cindy left, I received a check for $25,200. It was from the gallery where 14 of her art pieces had sold. The check was intended for Cindy. The gallery sent it in the usual way. There is no need to sign for it. I ripped it up and threw it away. Cindy would hold the money until she spoke with them. It seemed weird that her painting was suddenly so popular. Every day, Jack or Donna would check in. They took care not to bother too much. I truly enjoyed having them around, especially Donna. She acted as if nothing had occurred between us. She was an excellent friend who provided assistance when Jack was busy with our law practice. On a busy Friday evening, driving home from work, the roads were as congested as usual. It wasn't exactly stop and go, but it was close. I was about to turn onto my street when the car in front of me applied the brakes hard and came to a sudden stop. I wasn't prepared for that and hit the brakes too late. I ended up tapping the rear of their automobile. As a lawyer, I knew it was my fault, no matter what. We both turned on our hazard lights and stepped out to inspect the damage. I wasn't expecting the lovely woman who approached me looking frightened. She was the most attractive woman I could think of. "I'm deeply sorry, sir. I had to stop quickly because a squirrel jumped out and I didn't want to hit it. Did we sustain any damage?" she inquired as we both inspected our autos. There was no obvious damage as far as I could tell, but I couldn't expect her to believe me. "To be honest, ma'am, there appears to be no harm from the bump. I'm sorry I didn't stop in time, but you don't need to take my word for it. Here is my card. We can either wait for the cops to come and report it, or you can phone me after you've checked for any hidden damage. I'll pay for any repairs to avoid dealing with insurance. It's up to you." She took my card and spoke in a tone that made my heart skip. "Thank you, Mika. I also don't see any damage and would like not to make a big issue about it. I was just about to head home for a lonely TV dinner. If you treat me to a lovely supper today, I will forget about our difficulty. How does that sound, Micah?" she asked with a flirty tone. The lady in front of me was lovely. She looked like she belonged on the front of a fashion magazine. She was wearing a really short dress that exposed a lot of skin. It was evident she elected not to wear anything below, which caught my attention. Most guys would notice that, and I was no exception. My thoughts raced. I felt it easy to speak. I would love to miss Esmeralda. "Call me Esmeralda," she added, catching my attention. "Sure, Esmeralda. That's a name I'll never forget." I said back. She smiled, and the hectic world around us appeared to slip away. "I hope you don't only remember my name after tonight." Her hint was apparent. She moved on. "Can I trust you to follow me to a restaurant? Where can we chat more?" "Sure, but I hope I don't accidentally run into you again. Are you suggesting you do not like my backside?" She teased and made another joke. I just gave a wink, hoping not to muddle my remarks. "I will follow you wherever you choose my treat." I kissed her hand as a gentleman and led her to the Carriage House restaurant. It was a fancy, expensive restaurant. They had delicious cuisine and a dance section with a DJ playing cool music. It was popular with many people. Jack, Donna, Cindy, and I had only been there twice, once for a birthday and once for a special occasion. We chatted briefly as she said that she was new here due to a job promotion. She had no husband, was between boyfriends, and had heard excellent things about this place from co-workers. She was easy to chat to, attractive, and engaging. She pretended she had no idea how much attention she attracted. Many males around us stared at my date, as if they wished they were me. For some reason, I felt so at ease that I nearly revealed everything about my wife's difficult situation while remaining vague about Cindy. I wanted Esmeralda to understand that I was interested, but not push her away. After eating, I felt compelled to ask her to dance, not normally my thing. I kept my hands appropriate, not allowing them to roam as they desired. When a slow song came on, she wanted to remain on the dance floor, so we did. She rested her head on my shoulder and pressed right up to me. My hands found a little trace of her undergarments, hardly there. My body reacted to her being close to me. She seemed to feel the same way. She inquired softly, "Where is your wife, Micah?" "Not sure exactly," I said softly. "How do you know she isn't with another man right now?" she inquired gently. "I believe some friendly comfort could benefit you. I must admit, Micah, you have me hooked. Why not let me take some of your workload tonight and give you a break?" Her sophisticated words and hints surprised me. I wasn't prepared for her quick offer of intimacy. There was no mistake about her meaning. For some reason, this lovely lady was making a move on me after we had just met in a minor automobile accident. Any guy would leave his partner to be with such a dream. I considered her offer for as long as I did. Donna's was where we danced that night. You are gorgeous, Esmeralda. There's no argument there. If I was single, you'd already be in my room. But I really love my wife. Going behind her back would make me feel smaller. You and I will not be together for as long as I am married. But thank you so much for making me feel good with your offer. I sincerely appreciate your warm sentiments. When I told her that, she appeared sad. Then she grinned. That's the loveliest message I've ever received. Micah. Excuse me for a second. I need to go to the bathroom. As she left, I returned to our position. I kicked myself for saying no. I had a good notion what my wife was up to. No one except me would know if I answered yes to Esmeralda when she got back. She slid something inside my jacket pocket without saying a word. It looked like a handkerchief, but I knew it was her underpants. The powerful scent told me everything. This lovely lady was definitely trying to entice me. I'm not sure why I act like this guy is constantly hitting on me. I can't, I told Esmeralda. I'm married to Cindy. I can't cheat on her, even if nobody would know. Thank you for tonight. I've already paid. I should go home immediately. You've got a good woman. Best wishes to you both, she said. She kissed my cheek and then departed. Thank you for a night to remember. She took her suitcase and headed outside. I felt horrible about saying no. I am who I am. I drove home, tossing aside her smelly underwear. 2 weeks had passed, and I hoped Cindy would return soon. I did all the kidnappers requested to ensure she was secure and would return. But then, Detective Cassandra Jennings phoned. She stated that another video was posted online. She had no idea how the kidnappers knew we'd gotten the cops involved. They did everything softly, she explained. She informed me that my wife would have to stay with them for another 2 weeks because we had spoken with the police. I felt broken. My wife could be hurt by those horrible men for another 2 weeks. Cassandra stated, I cried hard. At the very least, my wife was alive and appeared to be doing well. She seemed okay, all things considered, mostly because we both followed their guidelines. I was grateful for the modest amount of good. Logging into the cloud video service made me anxious. As before, the old video was no longer available, replaced with a new one. I'd already saved all of the old videos to an external disk, leaving no record on my PC. This manner, if the evil people attempted to snoop on my computer, they would find nothing. Unfortunately, the first thing I noticed was exactly what Cassandra warned me about. There was a 90-second message specifically for me. You guessed correctly how many times your wife felt nice. Well done. But you didn't listen when I told you not to contact the cops. Trying to encourage Detective Cassandra Jennings to pursue me was a big no-no. I warned you what would happen if you did not listen, because you did not listen. Your wife, the art instructor, needs to stay with me for 2 more weeks, making me joyful in all ways. I stated I had buddies. It's your fault she won't be returning soon. I'm going to make it harder for you to guess correctly about her positive times. You should watch the movies several times and pay close attention if you make a mistake, even by 1. She stays with me for another month. Mr. Albright, The responsibility is now yours. I hope you don't let her down again. She is the greatest I have ever had. Her large chest is lovely, but you know it will be difficult to let go. Heck, if I keep her long enough, she may not want to return to you. You see, she enjoys what I offer her. You can tell she enjoys spending time with me. Pay close attention to her. Listen for every sound and observe every expression on her face. Jack and Donna kept talking to me, and I really loved Donna. But I heard from one of them every day, and on Saturday, 3 weeks after Cindy left, my doorbell rang. I did not want to see anyone. I was quite down. Donna stood at the door in a lovely outfit, staring at her and then at Cindy. I knew Donna was one of the most attractive women I knew. She didn't dress to impress, yet simply seeing her made you feel a little aroused. She truly was gorgeous. "Monica, why do you appear to be staying put?" Donna asked, hands on her hips. "Did I miss something?" "I don't think we had plans today," I responded, rubbing my mind. She smiled wide. "Are you going to let a lady in or leave me outside all day?" She pretended to be upset. I didn't want to be rude. "Please, Donna, come in and explain what's going on." Once inside, she informed us that the new big Marvel movie was out today, and I had gotten us seats. "I had been thinking about you all day. Don't speak my mind. Messages did not reach you." She winked. "I'm not in good company today. I am feeling all over the place. And look at me. I'm not even dressed," I said, wearing only my boxers and t-shirt. "I see it, and I can smell you too. If you know what's good, get upstairs and take a shower." "Saying no is not an option. Shave and fix your hair too. I'll pick your clothing and place them on your bed. Clean up and get dressed, then come down. I'll be fixing the kitchen." Cindy would hate to see it sloppy. "Go now, I mean it." I looked annoyed. She returned her gaze with renewed determination. She and Jack have been quite kind to me, especially these days. I wanted to avoid upsetting them, so I did it, she asked. She didn't mind if I wanted to or not. When I got back down, I couldn't believe it. She chose casual clothes for me that not only looked well together, something I rarely do, but also matched her attire. I was astounded with how quickly she made the kitchen appear clean again. I have no idea how ladies do it. That cleaning would have taken several hours. However, she did it much better and faster. Just having her nearby helped me feel better. She glanced at her watch. "Hello, handsome. I hope you're feeling better because you definitely look and smell better. We have to hurry if we see that movie on time for the first time in a while." I grinned sincerely. She kissed my cheek lightly. "Okay, this is on me. And I am driving. You just have to look good. I have reserved a table for us after we dine out. If you need to notify anyone that you will not be home tonight, do it while we are on our way." "Got it?" I joked, and we departed. I ended up purchasing us snacks. The movie was not as good as I had imagined. Thinking about my wife's problems undoubtedly didn't help, but the film and Donna's companionship provided a welcome escape. After getting rid of the massive soda I consumed, we went out for dinner. To my surprise, we headed to our favorite supper restaurant, which had a large dance floor. I was caught off guard since I had begun to trust Donna again, and now we were back where we had difficulties before. As we sat down, she sensed my unease and spoke out right away. "Mika, I chose this location on purpose. Let me make you feel better. I'm not going to try anything tonight, even though it's just the two of us, just as pals. They serve delicious cuisine here, and I figured watching others dance and be happy would brighten you up. You do not have to dance with me, Micah. I won't mind, but I've been feeling excluded since all of this. Whatever it is started. You and Cindy are my best pals, and I don't take it lightly. I really miss Cindy, but what's going on with her is a big secret. One that neither you nor my husband will tell me." She began. Her eyes began to water. "Micah," Jack informed me, "I can't ask you what's going on with her. I can't call her. She has not reached out and everything is kept secret. If this were a family situation, you know I'd be there in a hurry to assist both of you with whatever you required. Please, Micah, please don't shut me out, even if Jack gets really upset. I'm imploring you. I promise you that you can trust me beyond all else." I noticed a few tears fall from her eyes. She appeared genuine and compassionate. I took her hands in mine and smiled slightly. "Let us choose our meal, Donna, and while we wait, I'll tell you what's going on." She grinned broadly, pleased to be permitted in. "Micah, since I am paying, let me order for both of us. I understand what you like almost as well as you do." She spoke eagerly. I laughed. Okay, Donna, you have my trust. I winked. When our water arrived, she began. My friend here will have the largest and tastiest filet mignon steak you have. Serve medium rare with a baked potato and plenty of butter. Hold the sour cream. Your green salad with crimson dressing is beneficial for both him and me. I'll take the ocean bug with an additional dip. Potatoes with cream, greens with mild sauce. Okay, ma'am. We will get started on that right away. She looked at me as the waiter walked away. I know you, and you were going to choose the cheapest option to save my money. This way, we both get what we want. Don't even consider arguing, Micah. We haven't hung out in forever. She laughed a little. Let's get to it. Take your time, but tell me everything. What up? Micah? I cannot wait any longer. I didn't want to ruin up your relationship with Jack. I wouldn't generally do that, but it's an extremely horrible scenario. So I made Jack promise not to tell you to keep Cindy safe. I had to minimize the number of people who knew what was going on. If you promise me that you will only tell Jack what I am going to say, I will trust you. Donna struck a serious tone right away. Micah, I pledge to preserve your secret. You have always trusted me, and that will not change. Allow me to demonstrate how serious I am. Okay, then. Shall we dance? She seemed taken aback by my request, but she nevertheless extended her hand and followed me to the dance floor, where others were already moving. I meant to dance slowly with her, regardless of the music. I decided to inform her while we were dancing so she wouldn't cry at the table. I drew her closer, guiding her head to rest on my shoulder. She snuggled snugly against me as I began. Donna, I am not sure how you will take what I am about to tell. I believed this would be the best method for you to keep calm. I then gave her the entire story from beginning to conclusion. I kept the unpleasant details vague, but I communicated everything I felt and knew. She tightened her grip on me while I talked. Then I felt her shiver. She cried into me silently, yet deeply. I was moved by how much she cared. Now I felt awful for not telling her sooner. I handed her a Kleenex. We sat back down before our food became cold. Micah, I am at a loss for words. This is the worst scenario I could imagine. Short of death. I'm very sorry you're going through this dreadful moment. What a hefty load to carry. She placed her hands on mine. I need you to know I am here for you. I'd want to help you carry this heavy stuff. You should not have to accomplish everything by yourself. I'm phoning Jack to tell him he needs to come back here tonight. When things go bad, a real friend stays by your side. Thank you so much for caring, Donna. This means a lot. But it was I who told Jack to continue on his journey. He wanted to come back when I told him it wouldn't be fair for his work to suffer as a result of my mess, and he wouldn't be able to explain why Jack needed to be where he is. Okay. She looked apprehensive, but she understood what I meant. Okay, I do not like it, but I get your perspective. I won't interfere with Jack's work situation. I miss him a lot. But listen, and listen well. We are doing things my way, and that is final. Your way? What? I requested until Cindy returned, and I hope it is soon. I will use every free moment to help you get through this difficult time. I'll cook and clean for you every day, your laundry and bed sheets. I will also take care of that. I understand that you don't want my help with some difficult films, but you must let me help with the rest. There is no choice. I'll be at your apartment after work every day and won't depart until around 10:30 p.m., allowing me to get to bed by 11 p.m. on weekends. I'll be there from morning till late at night. I care for Cindy and you just as much as I do about Jack. I will keep you company. Keep your mind off things and be the friend you and Cindy would be to us if situations were reversed. Now finish that steak before I decide to feed you like a baby. She laughed. Okay, I understand. Don't worry about Jack. I will tell him it was all part of my plan. You and Jack are awesome. The absolute best. I am proud to have you as my closest pals. Donna stuck to her word. She was always there, but not in an obnoxious manner. She dressed simply in jeans and shirts around me, never attempting to catch my eye. She was the Donna that I knew and loved. I didn't need to do any housework. She was on my soiled clothes in no time. Cindy did not iron, but Donna did, using a little starch to crisp up my work shirts. She said Jack like that. We spent a lot of time watching television and movies on my small setup. She was pleasant to be around, to be honest. Her presence there meant a lot to me. I recommended she remain in the extra room, but she declined. She ensured that nothing bad could happen, not even by accident. The videos started to appear more frequently and lasted longer. Detective Cassandra and her crew still didn't know who was responsible, but they warned me that they'd make a mistake eventually. Watching those films was quite difficult. Sometimes the man recording was tough with my wife, but I never saw him go too far. But the bigger man was no longer joking around. He did not touch her in the same way again. Every day he was there for her in some way. It was as if he were following an outdated love guide. Every time he lifted her up, it appeared that he was trying to build a family with her. The worst part was hearing what she said while they were doing it. Yes, that's correct. Take me, Master. I am yours. I want your child. Give it to me. Make me a mother. Put your child into me. Give me what my husband cannot. You've got me forever. Show it. I want to have our baby. I adore our child more than everything, I promise. Cindy said all of this, and much more. Every word hurt me deeply. My mind kept telling me that she had no choice but to act and speak like that. But my heart couldn't bear seeing and hearing how they treated her. After watching one particularly awful video, I returned downstairs, overcome with sadness and sorrow. The two men were all over my wife and didn't care, seeing how distressed I was. Donna came over quickly. She hugged me tightly and grieved beside me. My tears saturated her hair, and her tears soaked my shirt. We did not talk at all, we both simply understood. Her heart was filled with love, the kind that isn't romantic or like having a sister, but rather a profound caring for another person. This love was powerful, complete, and filled me up when I felt too weak to stand. It was as if a wave in the water had lifted me. This must be what the good book means when it says to help one another with heavy loads. Donna was there, sharing my load. I'd never felt this kind of love before. It was a respite from my grief. Donna replied, I couldn't handle being in your position. I don't see how you keep going, witnessing what you see every day. I replied with a simple saying, a man does not die when he loses his right arm, he simply gets used to life without it. That is all. Every 2 days, a new video was released. Watching my wife interact with other men crushed my heart. It felt like my love for Cindy was dwindling. My emotions were all over the place, but Donna was always there, assisting and supporting me as my best friend, a bright spot in an otherwise dismal storm. She cried with me until no tears remained. Jack also called to say he was supporting me in every way he could from afar. I thanked him for allowing Donna to be my sanctuary. Even though I didn't express it, I was feeling empty, simply going through the motions. Even if Cindy came back now, I doubt things would ever be the same. I am lost in my own emotions. On a Monday, 28 days after Cindy's disappearance, Detective Cassandra Jennings called me at work. Welcome, Mr. Albright. I have fantastic news concerning your wife, Cindy. My crew is with her right now, looking for clues, she explained. What? Is she okay? How did this happen? I cried out. She seemed to be doing well for the time being. She's being brought to the hospital to be examined. The bad guys posted a new video around an hour ago. It appears you haven't watched it yet. They placed a note online stating that they left your wife tied up in an old warehouse downtown. The hospital will examine her, both her body and intellect, while we continue to seek for clues to help us discover them. The only evidence we have today are some frequent tire marks near the building. Can I see her? When can I take her home? Micah. Usually after what your wife has gone through. They keep her in the hospital for at least one night to monitor her, if she is okay. And her physique, which I believe she will be, is checked first, followed by her mind. After that, we need to speak with her, learn her side of the story. We're hoping she can assist us in locating the perpetrators and apprehending them. Sir, we'll make sure she gets justice. I will meet you at the hospital. The doctors will tell you how she's doing and what happens next. If all goes well and there is no major upset or incident, you should be able to bring her home in 1 to 3 days. We hope to learn new things from her while they're still fresh. I get it, Cassandra. I am currently on my way to the hospital. Thanks. I instantly informed my secretary that I had a major family emergency and would be unable to return to work today. I dashed to my car and drove quickly to the hospital on the way. I tried calling Dana's phone to tell her what was going on. To my surprise, she answered after only 2 rings, saying she was always available for her close friends. I told her the good news and explained what the cop had said to me. I told her she could come to the hospital tonight if she wanted, but not to my house because I'd be there until they told me to leave. She was overjoyed, crying into the phone, saying that this was the answer to her prayers. I asked her to phone Jack and fill him in. She said she would. Cassandra was waiting for me at the hospital immediately following our conversation. I gave her a huge hug. Thank you very much, Cassandra, for everything you're doing for us. We haven't captured the evil folks yet, but we're hoping I get it, Detective. I wish those jerks would face the harshest punishment. Fortunately, I'm not in control. I understand why you feel that way. Micah. We discovered her exactly where the bad people said she was, tied with plastic strips to an old blanket without clothes. You need to know now that she's gone. Your wife's story will be known to everyone. We'll hide the really terrible items, especially the videos. However, her disappearance and discovery will be made public. You do not have to talk to the news. Simply say no comment as often as you like and hang up. We'll ask the public for assistance if they notice anything unusual near where she was located. A good tip might come from anywhere. The prospect of all the attention this may generate made me anxious, but no matter what, I do everything I can to keep Cindy safe from inquisitive eyes. We walked jointly to the nurse's station, only to discover that she was being checked and would not be available for another 2 to 3 hours. They gave me a little device that would vibrate whenever there was new information. Waiting was not something I liked, but I prepared for it. Detective Jennings added, "There's one more thing." "What?" I asked. "You have not seen the new video yet, have you?" he asked. "No, I drove here as soon as you called." "I suppose so. Look, Micah, saying it straight is the only way I can proceed. As I mentioned in the previous video, the evil guy forced your wife to take a pregnancy test. He filmed everything. We made no cuts, and the results gradually improved. He used a test, and it revealed she was pregnant. We suppose it is hers. As part of the criminal case, I requested that the hospital investigate for rape and determine whether she is pregnant. Later, we can check the baby's DNA to see if it matches anyone we know. This could take us to one of the kidnappers. I wanted to let you know first. I am sorry to have to tell you this, Micah. You seem like a wonderful guy, and it's difficult to see good people suffer. We'll catch the bad folks." He stated that watching Cindy in the films asking for a baby did not prepare him for the reality of the situation. But the most important thing is that she is alive and safe. We will confront whatever happens next. I simply nodded, saying thank you without words. Dana soon entered the foyer, looking for me. She walked quickly to me. "Why are you here, Donna? Shouldn't you be at work?" "I don't care about work. I needed to be here for you," she explained. "I promised to help you out. You don't think I'd want to miss any of the good parts, do you?" "Thanks. Did you give Jack a call?" "Yes, I did. He was quite thrilled, almost jumped out of his seat. Made me promise to keep him updated. But let's not talk about Jack right now. How do you feel?" she asked. "It's bizarre. It feels like a great weight has been lifted off my shoulders now that she's back. But I have no idea how we'll deal with the nightmare she went through and the awkwardness it could bring to our marriage. It will take time, Micah. There's no way around it. They would most likely advise her to consult a doctor about her mental and emotional traumas. You could also need to talk to someone. You're probably right about it. Any idea when Jack will be back? He has 2 more significant meetings today and tomorrow. He could fly back as early as Wednesday and told me to let you know that he missed being around you. You know, Jack and I will do everything we can to aid you and Cindy. We mean it, Micah. Anything. I'm aware of this, Donna. Truly. You two are the best buddies someone could ever want, and I adore you guys more than words can express." Just then, a nurse approached. "Are you Mr. Albright? Micah Albright?" "Yes, that is me. Is there anything wrong with my wife?" "Yes, sir, that is why I am here. They dispatched me to grab you and told me not to come back without you. Your wife is quite agitated and she will not let us touch her until she talks to you. Please join me, sir." I followed her, turning through corridors and doors that only employees could open, until we arrived at the facility where Cindy was receiving care. I was torn up when I saw Cindy imploring them to bring me. I went to her side. She sprang out of bed and held me tightly, crying as hard as she could. "Micah, is that indeed you? Are we back together now?" She asked everything at once. "Yes, love. It's me, and we are back. I missed you so much. She gave me numerous kisses. Please stay. Micah, I love you. I cannot be without you. If you claim you're not leaving, I'll let them inspect me. Given her distress, the doctor said everything was fine. I smiled at Cindy and moved back. She calmed down and allowed the doctor perform her examinations. The doctor stated that she needed a full-body X-ray to check for any hidden injuries, which is common for someone who has been taken away for an extended period of time. I couldn't accompany her inside, but I kept close. After 2 hours of examinations, the doctor advised Cindy to sleep with medication because she was quite unhappy. I told Cindy that I'd be there when she awoke. After she fell asleep with my hand in hers, I went to the lobby and requested Donna to come see Cindy. Donna was pleased to see her. She realized Cindy looked fine. There are no signs of being hit, however. She had marks on her neck. We knew something awful had happened to her, but you couldn't tell just by looking. Donna said she would spend the night with us. I'm taking turns watching Cindy. A mind doctor arrived at 8:30 a.m., just as Cindy was waking up. He wanted to speak with her alone for a few hours. We were told to return after lunch. He desired a transparent conversation with his new patient. Cindy appeared calm, but she urged me to return quickly at noon, to which I agreed and went to clean and change. We both did not go to work. When I returned to the hospital, the doctor who discussed sentiments was still with her. They told me to wait until he finished. When he got out, he told me Cindy was acting in a way that indicated she was too close to the individuals who seized her, something called Stockholm Syndrome. He believed Cindy would not injure herself or others, but he insisted she see him 3 times a week beginning Wednesday. He asked her to come on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I assured him I'd make sure she did. Then he said Cindy may go home today, but the hospital staff still needed to accomplish some things before she could depart. Just then, Detective Cassandra entered our room. Mrs. Albright, I am Cassandra Jennings, a detective with the local police. Can you answer a few questions? Yeah, Cassandra, I will do my best, thanks. I'll keep things simple. Do you know who has taken you? Did they appear or sound familiar at all? Did they address each other by any names you heard? I apologize. I do not know them. They always spoke softly, not like normal conversation. I've never seen their faces. They wore black masks while they were around me. You said there were just 2. So only 2 of them, correct? Yes. They were only 2 males. They barely spoke to me the entire time I was there. It was as if they were afraid I would recognize their voices. They gave me prepared notes telling me what to say and do, like if I were in a play. I needed to learn these, act them out when told. Did you notice anything weird about the 2 men? They were all black. It was difficult to tell them differently other than by their size and the various names they gave. One was tall and strong, known as the Master. The other, shorter and weaker, was named Ed for editor since he videotaped where you remained still or moved. I was largely shackled to a bed with a pail as a toilet. They cleaned it and fed me. No idea where I was. There are no sounds from outside, such as automobiles or trains. They held me there, cleaned me, and fed me. Have they dressed you up? Sometimes? Yes. Sometimes they put me in a really little bikini. Then they'd put me under a sun lamp and tan 3 little white triangles on my chest while I wore my swimsuit. Cassie wrote a lot. I get it. And the food? Which kind? They offer you items from the drive-thru like as chicken and breakfast biscuits, hamburgers and fries, roasted beef subs, a lot of stuff. But what about the drink? Just red wine. There is no water or other liquids. They said alcohol would help me stay calm. Were you made to take any pills? Every night, take 1 tablet to sleep. Before making the videos, there was another kind. I assumed one was for sleep and the other for something else. Your blood test revealed alcohol, Ambien, and MDMA, which is consistent with what you stated, Cassie informed her. Let's start with when you were stolen. You were getting your clothing from the cleaners when you noticed a white van approaching your car, correct? How did they take you? Cindy attempted to recall more. I'm unsure about it. As I opened my car door, a sack was thrown over my head. Somebody grabbed me. I felt a prick on my neck and then passed out. I didn't see or hear anyone I recognized. I awoke bare and confined to a bed. I have no idea how long I was gone or where she went with what she could remember. Every time they tried to fire me, I received notes ahead of time detailing what would happen and what I should say and do in the next film. They remained silent throughout the footage, maybe to prevent the cops from identifying them based on their sounds. They also thrust Micah's Facebook post in my face, claiming it proved he was fine with what had happened. Cassandra apologized, saying, "We think you were kept close by, but we haven't found the location. Mrs. Albright, I apologize for asking you all of this. We want to catch those who did this to you. Your husband has been waiting for us. It is patient-like. I'll leave for now, but I may have more questions later. I hope you get healthy quickly and may return home soon." I brought her home by 4 p.m. To my amazement, Donna was already cooking dinner. She created foods that we both enjoyed. She gave Cindy a warm hug before returning to cooking. When the supper was finished, she gently departed, leaving us to eat and catch up alone. We gazed at each other, unsure what to say, and then went into the food, which was excellent. Cindy broke the silence first. "Donna appears to have made us dinner. It tastes excellent. Has she been around a lot while I was away?" "Yes, she did, babe, because she wanted to. When she heard about what happened to you, she wanted to help me. She knew you'd do the same for them if the situation was reversed. Donna was alone because Jack had left for a job on the West Coast. She stepped up and helped me deal with everything. I'm delighted she was there for you, but it's surprising to hear you let her in close after being so upset about the dance." "You're correct. Cindy, I was being too narrow-minded, and I realize it now. Donna has regained my confidence and respect. She's been a fantastic friend, always there to assist me deal with difficult situations. I think she was a huge help." "Has she ever stayed over?" "No, never. Even when it made sense for her to stay, particularly on weekends, she would always return home. We hugged as friends do, perhaps a kiss on the forehead or cheek here and there. But that is it. You may relax. Nothing went wrong while you were gone. You can also ask her. She'd be pleased to talk. She isn't here right now to give us space. I am not upset. I am grateful she was there for you. I would have been fine if you two become close while I was abroad. I'm surprised you hadn't. Do you know what I went through?" "It's odd, yet I'm sorry you were alone while I was busy." "Cindy, seeing those movies was horrible. I felt nauseous. I sobbed more than I ever had before while watching them. Counting your moments broke me." "What?" "They said you would enjoy viewing it. You'd be ecstatic every day. They informed me that no man could watch and not be thrilled." "Do you mean you didn't enjoy it at all?" she inquired, surprised. "If they said so, they lied. If it was only us." "Sure, I enjoy seeing you like that, but not this. Seeing you in any close proximity to another guy was really upsetting for me. I felt sick and pushed myself away within to get through seeing it. Nothing made me feel good or cheerful at all." She seemed astonished by what I said. I'm not sure why she believed I'd be all right with it all. After we ate, we proceeded to the small room where I sat. She came to me and cried for a long time before she could speak again. "They threatened to hurt you if I didn't do what they wanted. I felt I had to do it to keep you safe. It seems like it was. Do or die, honey," she sobbed. "It's okay, Cindy. You're safe right now. I love you. I am very sorry they took and harmed you. Have you heard? I am going to have a baby." She tried to smile slightly. "Yes, I hadn't seen the last video, but I found out at the hospital." "What are your thoughts about that?" "I just can't stop it. This infant has done nothing wrong. Do you know that? And no man can be a better father than you. I want to keep our baby and provide a wonderful environment for him. You won't make me give it up, will you? Honey, I will not press you to do anything. It's a lot to handle. I'm not sure how I feel about things yet, but I'm glad you're back. I understand what you are saying, love. I'll do everything I can to show you how much I adore you. I need us to be closer again soon. This means a lot to me. I hope to make you as happy as you have made me." I asked if you wanted to make me happy. "Cindy, take off the necklace. Please allow me to assist you." "No, never. This must never happen. It is not just a necklace, it is a collar. My lord stated it demonstrates that he owns me." She replied quickly. "Master, do you mean he owns you and you can't take it off?" I couldn't believe everything she was saying. "You don't understand, Micah?" "Yes. When I was with him, he was my master. He owns me, all of me. But he allowed me return to you because you and I had helped him out. My presence here is constant. He owns me. He instructed me to bed you quickly and make you proud to be a man. Let us go upstairs and be like husband and wife again." "Wait a minute. Are you still saying we're husband and wife? However, you act as if what you say about his ownership of you comes first." "Yes, sweetie." But I shut her off. You act as if our marriage doesn't matter, like we're no longer together. Don't be so foolish, Micah. We are the same as always. I am still your wife. You are still my husband. Nothing has changed. The only new thing is that if he calls, I have to go to him. It does not take away from us. It won't make things worse. If anything, it helps us improve. I'd want to show you how to delight each other more. He has taught me a lot. I was urged not to hold anything back, and I will not. Her remarks shocked me. I had to inquire more. Please let me take off the necklace, I asked her. I can't, my dear. He warned me not to take it off. He threatened to hurt me if I tried to get rid of our kid or his necklace. I can't say no to him, not after what you've told me. Remember the Facebook message you sent. Always do as you are instructed. Give it all. So I did. I gave him everything based on what you said. It made me feel like I could finally be myself. Don't you get it? I could not believe it. Her captors had seriously messed with her head. I knew she'd be affected, but it was worse than I expected. But you are safe with me now. He's only attempting to scare you. He is unable to touch you. I will keep you secure. I asked you to keep me safe, just as you did previously. He took me once, and neither you nor the cops could stop him. He claims he can always get me, and he's correct. Micah, your pledge to protect me does not mean much. This is just wishful thinking. Her words struck me hard. I could not dispute with her. She'd made her point. I was at a loss for words. Okay, thank you for putting it like that. It's difficult to hear, particularly coming from my wife. Kidnapping caused you to blame me. You tell me we can no longer be close because he now owns you. Call me when you return from your lengthy journey. I don't see it that way, love. I've learned a lot. My teacher taught me how to make a man happy in ways I never knew. I want to share it with you so that we can be better than before. Our baby will arrive soon. We should make use of the time we have. It's very difficult for me, Cindy. Assume I saw too much of you with others on video. Those scenes have stuck in my head. I followed what you said in your internet communication. How can you push me away after I've done everything you said? I know what you said previously, Micah, but just tell me the truth. Didn't part of you like seeing me achieve new heights? You have to confess it got to you a little. No way. As I have stated, seeing you repeatedly made me feel terrible. I couldn't eat and vomited. I was never delighted or happy to see you hurt. It was all terrible for me. It would be even terrible if they had wounded you more. Watching all of that pained me terribly. If I knew who had taken you, he would be gone. I think he is the worst, but that's not correct. My teacher told me you wanted me to do it. He told me that your internet message suggested you enjoyed seeing us. He lied to you repeatedly about everything. I just posted that on Facebook because he threatened to hurt you if I didn't. When they apprehend him, I hope he suffers a much before leaving. You cannot mean that. He's been quite wonderful to me. The best man ever, everything a woman wants. If that's the case, it appears you have all you need with him. Why come back here? Why not stay with him? When I asked, she simply glanced at the ground. He admitted it was difficult to keep me around for too long. Plus, my feelings for you grew stronger while I was abroad. I want to be here for our child. Don't you see, Micah? Being away motivated me to be a better wife and mother. Let me show you. Simply lay down and rest. I will take care of everything, please. Cindy, I'm not fighting what you're saying, not going to debate. That would be like attempting to swim through poison. I struggled through my sadness. She had been duped and wasn't thinking clearly. I usually advise her to leave after hearing what she said, but this time was different. I learned not to argue with someone who refuses to listen. They'll simply bring you down to their level and win with more. Do you know how? Cindy, I believe you mean good, but what you are saying does not make sense to me. We just don't perceive things the same way. What important is that you're back now? I'll take you to the doctor tomorrow for help. Let's not rush things. You need time to recover from all of this. Mike, I really need to be with you right now. I need to share what I know. Don't you get it? Cindy stated. Cindy, being with you is not in the cards. There are some things we need to sort out first. You were tested for all sorts of STDs, but we do not yet have all of the findings. I am not going to risk you bringing me any infections. Perhaps you trust the people who took you. I do not. You can have the main bedroom. I'll crash in the other room. No, that is not okay. We need to be together right now. I apologize. Cindy, this is not happening. We'll see about it later. Your mental health need attention for the time being. That's your doctor's responsibility. She hurried away crying. Even though she is back, she's not the same, Cindy. I hope her doctor can help her rediscover herself." I left her alone and walked into the kitchen. Donna kept things clean, and I preferred to keep it that way. After a shower and watching TV, I went to bed in the other room. Late at night, I had a dream that someone was with me, and it felt real. When I woke up, I knew it was Cindy, not a dream. "Cindy? What up? It is late. I said I wasn't prepared." She grinned. "Your head says no, but your body says yes." She tried again. I stepped back from her. "Stop this and go to your room, or I'll spend the night at a hotel. Want that?" "No, my sweetheart. I just want to be near to you and feel you again," she said, attempting to be sweet. "Decide now. Return to your room, or I will go to a hotel. It's your choice." "That's fine then." She became angry. "Cannot you see? I'm only trying to show you love by reconnecting, and do you want me? I'm waiting." "Cindy, decide." She stormed out, slamming the door, then the bedroom door. I thought, we need to purchase locks for the spare room in the bathroom. The next day, I drove her to her doctor at 11 a.m. I waited in the lobby until noon. He said he's still mulling things out, but will share his ideas after Friday's meeting. I took Cindy out to supper, but she didn't mention her visit, and I didn't rush home. Cindy began wearing extremely thin and see-through clothing in an attempt to get my attention. It was the first time she looked like this since her return. She had marks all over her body, including her chest, neck, and legs. Normally, I would be drawn to her, but these marks put me off. Every time we got close, we could easily disregard her attempts. She would try to touch me. To stop this, I opened the front and back doors and left only the screen. The doors closed. Anyone could look inside. I also opened all of the drapes, which made her angry. Her efforts did not cease, but it was too soon for me to forget what was stuck in my thoughts. The school gave her more time off to help her find some calm. On a Friday, after observing her thoughts. "Doctor." The doctor walked up to me. "Mr. Albright, could you please come talk to Cindy and me for a bit? There's something I need to tell you immediately." I answered yes and entered with them. "Thank you for coming, Mr. Albright." "Doctor, I would do anything to help Cindy stand strong again." "That's great to hear, Mr. Albright. Please call me Monica. Mr. Albright feels like my father." "Okay, Micah. Thanks. I normally keep matters between myself and my patients private. But your wife wants me to tell you straight up what? I believe she is comfortable with me telling you my ideas. As I told you earlier in the hospital, she exhibits all the symptoms of Stockholm Syndrome. I mean, straight out of the book, Stockholm Syndrome occurs when prisoners develop feelings of closeness or even kindness toward those who imprison them. It's not just about kidnappers and prisoners anymore. It also refers to any form of abuse in which the victim feels a kinship with the perpetrator. It's a coping mechanism for dealing with a difficult situation. Some people in healthcare believe that the harmed person's good feelings are a method for them to be safe mentally and get through the difficult days. I've been studying about Stockholm Syndrome since you mentioned it, and I see why Cindy may feel that way given what she went through. That is good. Micah. But there is more. Cindy also demonstrates significant symptoms of another phenomenon known as trauma bonding. Traumatic bonding? Yep. It's similar to Stockholm Syndrome and trauma bonding. They share that the feelings hostages have for their captors are similar to how people in bad relationships feel about those who hurt them. They begin to believe that their terrifying situation is normal, revealing that they are trapped in a bad bond. Another similarity between Stockholm Syndrome and this bad bond is that Stockholm Syndrome requires a person to be trapped and rely on their captor to survive. They must only listen to what their captor says for the duration of the bad time. The captor must threaten them with death, and the hostage must perceive the captor as being nice in some way, even if it is not genuine kindness. All victims of these bad bonds rely on their abuser not only to survive, but also to discover the truth. They are often cut off from friends and family. Cindy told me that her captors had warned her that if she did not do everything they asked, her life would be jeopardized. She felt she had no other option to keep you safe. I understand what you're saying, Doctor. I hadn't considered it that way. I said it's unlikely you'd think of that unless you worked for me. But there is more to it. In your wife's case, the final and most important point is that people in these toxic relationships are duped into confusing abuse with genuine love, care, and understanding. Without a doubt, She developed feelings for her captors and abusers, even referring to one as her boss. She feels sorry for her captor's thoughts and actions, and she dislikes anyone, including you, who disagrees with her twisted ideas. I haven't heard that term before, doctor. What does this mean? It's quite common, just not talked about a lot because it involves sexual feelings. It's when a patient starts having romantic or sexual feelings for their therapist. Freud first talked about it. He thought some patients fall for their therapist during therapy, not for who the therapist really is. There are two types. One, where patients have daydreams they know aren't real, and another where it gets intense and the patient may act on those feelings. How does that relate to her? She just met you. Sorry, I was explaining where the idea comes from for Cindy. She's told me a lot about how active you two have been together, which I see as healthy. She links a lot of her love for you to your intimacy with her. Love and sex go hand in hand. So when she was forced into close situations with her captor, she started to feel love through those acts. Sexualized transference is simply a technique of understanding her sentiments of love and, unfortunately, ownership by him. She seems to have been quite candid with you. That is good. Yes, she is quite upfront. What can we do to assist her get back to where she was? As her therapist, I am currently providing her with talk therapy and medication as needed. We started with that. But aside from informing you of her diagnosis, the main reason I wanted to speak with you today was to request your assistance in getting her back to normal as quickly as possible. What can I do, doctor? I do not know what you know. I understand that. I'm not suggesting you act like a therapist at home. There is another method you can help, which is just as important. It's difficult enough when she shows evidence of one of her problems, but she also shows clear signs of all three. Stockholm Syndrome, trauma, bonding, and sexualized transference. It's as if she's hit the lottery, although in a negative way. It will take time to gradually repair this and help her rediscover herself. Being close will greatly assist to make this go more smoothly. Do you mean sick? Cindy simply smiled and remained silent, so I inquired with some trepidation. That's exactly what I mean, Micah. But just hear me out before you say nay. Okay. Cindy informed me all that you two discussed in this matter. I understand why you'd be hesitant to get close again after seeing her with the people who snatched her. Given the shock of it all, you're feeling really normal. It's quite natural. However, if you choose, you can choose to move past this to help her heal faster. She stated that you believe she should have recognized that your Facebook message asking her to cooperate with her captors was not from you. Try to see it from her perspective for a moment. Initially, she chose death over giving in to him by refusing to eat. She did this to keep her obligations to you and your marriage, even if it meant she could die. I was taken aback, Doctor. I admitted that I had never seen it this way before. That is exactly what I meant, Micah. She believed death was her only option. Then she saw your Facebook message and felt hopeful. She couldn't be certain you were meant to write those words to her. Regardless of the danger she was in, she recognized your message as a nice deed. You couldn't be present. You couldn't feel what she felt for her. You seemed to understand her plight and told her you wouldn't blame her for doing what her captors desired. He continued going. Given how outraged she was, can you really say she was thinking irrationally if you were in her situation with your life on the line? Do you believe you can remain cool and make all the proper decisions? You've given me something to think about, Doctor. I can't disagree with your perspective, but it's not just about her relationships with other men. She's stating she needs to listen to him over our wedding vows. She wears a collar, shaves, and keeps her hair short for him. Then she said that she was returning to me because he had commanded her to, not because she wanted to. Then there's the fact she's carrying her rapist's child. All of this is quite difficult for any man to cope with, Doctor. Cindy's expression became sad again. Mike, I understand your pain and what you're expressing. Allow me to share one more easy saying. Then I will leave you to your thoughts. I observed you acquired some insight into the Facebook thing. Take a look at everything you discussed today. They look like they're from an already baked cake. I believe you've begun to cope with some of the issues we discussed, which is helpful for the other things you're upset about. Consider them to be the undesirable components of a cake. You can't remove them from the cake once it's baked. It may not be your best cake, but you can still enjoy it. You two did not choose what went into the cake. Someone else did. but this is what you have now. You're blaming her for the decisions you both made. Sure, some consequences are unpleasant and unwelcome, but you must confront some of them with her. We cannot undo our past actions, neither you nor her. However, we have the ability to select what happens next. I would be lying if I said you hadn't contacted me, Doc. Thank you for your clear and concise points. You've truly helped me see things in new ways. If you and Cindy can wait a little longer, I need some time to think about this. I won't just put things aside. Give me a week or two, is that okay? That is all I could wish for, Micah. That is completely fair. I said... Cindy leaped up and hugged me tightly, her eyes welling with tears of delight. Cindy told me on our drive home that she had spoken with Donna this morning and asked if we could all hang together this weekend. On Friday and Saturday nights at home, I felt confined. I yearned for the day you'd return, restoring our relationship to its former glory. I needed a fresh start, Micah. Donna wants to go out and celebrate Jack's victory now that he's home. How could I say no? Jack and Donna were there for me when you were away. If you're certain you're good with this, let's go for it. I truly need this, Micah. Thanks. Donna said they'd pick us up tonight at 7 p.m. to go to the club. I can't wait to hang out with them again. Cindy stopped attempting to woo me once we returned home. I believe the doctor urged her to give me some time to process what he had said. Jack was relieved to see Cindy safe. At dinner, I told them Cindy was seeking therapy for her difficult situation, but I kept our marital problems private. Jack complimented Cindy's new necklace. She reddened, but we didn't tell him what it actually meant. Then he forced Cindy to dance, leaving Donna with me. I did not mind dancing with Donna. Cindy seemed pleased with Jack's notice, as I wasn't ready to embrace her new viewpoints. Donna could sense that I was unhappy over Cindy. We both wished Cindy would stick with Jack on the dance floor, hoping it would help her think more clearly. Dancing with Donna was peaceful. She's been a wonderful friend, never crossed the line. On the ride back, Cindy looked really cheerful on Monday, back at work. Cindy stayed home for her doctor's appointment. When I returned that evening, she had something to ask me. What is this, Micah? I am not sure. What do you believe it is? I inquired, curious. There's a message and a check from the art gallery. I called them today. They informed me that 28 of my art pieces had sold while I was gone. They also claimed you didn't take the money. Why is that? She was visibly unhappy. I can explain that when you were taken, dealing with the art gallery was the last thing from my mind. I only worried about keeping you safe. I thought you might not return. I've heard that some of these situations end badly. I figured your art would be more valuable if something awful happened. The gallery didn't listen to what I had to say, so I returned everything to them, expecting you'd find this surprise when you returned. It served as a ray of hope amid a difficult moment. I kept some unpleasant ideas to myself. She turned from angry to delighted. I don't quite understand why you did it, but I get your point. I had a long conversation with them today. They said 28 of my paintings sold for $2,300 each, totaling $64,400. They pulled out their $500 charge. So, we have $50,400 to play with. Isn't it cool? Yep. If you are smiling, I am all in. How do you intend to spend this money? It's our money, fool. They're sending one large check. They didn't like how you tried to meddle with their payment methods. We can now go on a luxurious trip or get items for our home. Alternatively, obtain better automobiles. We have a lot of alternatives. She was quite excited. Cindy, I'm very proud of you. You worked hard for the money. It's time to get something good out of it. We've been talking about getting you a new car, right? This money may make it happen. Let us look for an automobile shortly, but I wanted to spend the money on something for both of us, you know? Sure. I've desired a new car, but how does that benefit you? I reasoned that making money from my paintings would benefit both of us. Getting an automobile for you helps me. See, all I want is for you to have the finest possible experience with your new vehicle. I'm not worried about you getting stuck somewhere if the old one breaks down. Plus, a new automobile saves money on repairs, which benefits both of us. She looked at me as if I were talking strangely. Yeah, she wasn't expecting me to say that. Do you have a problem spending money on yourself? Can I ask you something first? Sure. Who bought your artwork? Was it one person or several? The gallery stated that one guy purchased them all. I get it. Do you know who it was? No. They claimed the customer preferred to remain anonymous. Sometimes people prefer to keep things that way. and we have to respect that. What has that got to do with anything? Stay with me. Just a couple more questions. How many of your art pieces have sold? They informed me that 28 of my works were sold. Okay. How many were sold before you were taken? None, so far as I know. How many were sold once you returned? I don't think any more have been sold, but I'm not certain. Normally I would agree with you, Cindy, but this time things seem strange. What do you mean? Well, you were gone for 28 days and just 28 items were sold. None before you were stolen and none when you returned. When we combine it with the buyer's desire to remain anonymous, it raises the possibility that you are being duped and the sale of your painting is linked. What? That sounds crazy. Why would someone who stole me want to purchase my artwork? I am simply speculating here. But perhaps the person who stole you tried to compensate for the evil. They did compensate you for missed wages or provide anything for his child in an indirect way. See, there may be a lot of good reasons for giving you that money, I explained. Are you saying I'm wrong for accepting money from someone who liked my artwork just because it matches up with some numbers? You aren't making sense. You wanted to know why I may be concerned about that money. I explained why I did not say you had to agree with me. But if there's a slim chance they're connected, I believe the money should be spent only on you. You created those art pieces on your own and earned every penny, so you should get the rewards. This money is as much yours as mine. I want to use it jointly. I do not want it used solely on me. Okay, I'll give you some time to think about how we might use it together. I'll just put it in the bank for now, I explained. Only if it is deposited into a single account under your name. But don't expect it to be spent on me, she said, looking offended. She walked out of the room as tears welled up in her eyes. The next day, I went to work, as usual. Cindy made breakfast, which was unusual for a weekday. Perhaps it was because she hadn't returned to her teaching job yet with a full stomach. I got into my car and left. Cindy was cleaning the kitchen when I drove away. I was thinking about what the doctor had mentioned about us becoming closer. Then I remembered I'd left my briefcase in the spare room. I needed to go back. I made a U-turn and ran home. When I got back inside, I noticed Cindy had cleaned the kitchen. She was probably upstairs. I needed to pass into the main bedroom to fetch my briefcase. The door was ajar. I overheard her on the phone. I became curious. I thought I said not to use your secret phone unless it was really important. It is a huge deal. I really do need to talk. Wait, I am at work. Allow me to step outdoors so I can speak freely, a voice said. I could not believe my eyes. My wife was communicating with my best friend Jack via a secret phone. Where did she obtain the phone? When did Jack give it to her? Was it when they danced the other night? Why were they speaking in secret? Jack never told me he was aiding Cindy. What was really going on? She did not see me. I decided to conceal and listen for clues. She had the phone on loud, so I figured why not record it. I used my phone to record their conversation. All I could see was her back, but I wanted to hear their intimate conversation. She assumed I'd departed for work. Clearly, she did not want me to hear this. Jack did not either. I suppose. About a minute and a half later, Jack resumed talking. Okay, I'm here. What's so important that you needed to address me like this? Oh, how good to hear your voice. I'm losing my sanity without you. What is wrong? Are you sure Mike isn't around? He's headed to work. I watched him leave and waited a bit before calling. I tried to remain cool and not call. But after our dance this weekend, I really need you again. You made me feel very alive. I'm missing your touch. When you came close to the dance floor, all I wanted was you. Jack laughed. You don't realize how much I wanted to make you. Get down there and take care of me in front of everybody. I'd have been right there. I've got you, babe. But we've got to be sneaky. I don't want my wife or your man to catch on just yet. We intend to change things up. Bring them both on board. I can get Donna to agree to almost everything except MCA. He's rough. I was confident that seeing us together in those videos for a month would pique his attention. I can't believe he did not respond at all. But Donna assures me it's true. Looking back, having MCA watch our CC tapes may not have been the finest decision. Cindy, do not worry. The videos were intended to pique his interest. Show him what is missing. I'll deal with Donna when the time is right. But Mike was the difficult part. Something must have piqued his interest. I can tell you're having a good time. Give him a little more time. Look, I'm not saying you're wrong, but all it has done is push him away from me, and I'm freaking out. You got me revved up about our fun. But those videos have turned him off to the point where he refuses to touch me, just asks for time. I might lose my sanity while waiting for him. You've showed me so much that I want to share with him, but he's just not interested. I need you again, Jack. Really terrible. You told me to attempt to talk him into it by being with him, but he won't let me near him. I tried to wake him up in the way you prefer, but he just kicked me out of bed. Then he shut the door to keep me out. I wanted him to suit my needs. But you are the last person I was with. If we don't get together soon, I'll feel like I'm dying. I was stunned from the outset. My thoughts kept running, but my emotions froze. I felt a tremendous sadness inside. The affection I previously had for her felt fixed. Later, my anguish was so intense that it felt like waves in my chest. It appears that I made an incorrect guess about him. I hoped Esmeralda, the professional I hired, would win him over. I was astonished when she informed me she had failed. That cost me a lot. But don't worry, I have another plan that should work. How are things doing with the psychiatrist? I'm grateful you gave me those books. Reading about women being taken away, how they begin to feel for their captors, and how their emotions become confused was exactly what I needed to convince the doctor. Did Micah believe the story about the bikini and the sun lamp? He definitely did. You told me to make him believe, so I did. Micah would be really furious if he found out I was just sunbathing at the hotel. You read all those books while in meetings. The psychiatrist is even attempting to persuade Micah to change his mind, but Micah insists on more time. I can't wait, Master. Please, let us find a method to meet. I want to make you happy, she implored. I will see what I can do. Is there any word from the police concerning your alleged kidnapping? Nothing at all. They have no clues and do not suspect. Cindy said, We made up my disappearance. Good. Making them think you were gone was the only way I could think of to force Micah to keep an eye on us without getting in trouble, she explained. Cindy suggested that Anthony come back here pretending to carry vital files to the office so he could upload the videos. It was wise to throw the cops off. Thanks. I did not want Anthony to be with you, but we wanted him to remain quiet. He did an excellent job with the camera, she responded. I understand why you let him join, as long as you were present. What bothers me is Micah watched everything, yet claims he was unmoved by it. It's annoying. He will eventually change his mind. He became very close to Donna while we were away. It's only a short step forward for her to win him over the following time. Did Micah mention the account number of the person who bought your art? 5,225-29-333464-24,639. No. He is unaware of the clue in the account number which spells out Jack breeding Cindy. He would be upset if he knew. You constantly surprise me, Master, she laughed. Jack chuckled. That is our secret. Did he believe your tears when you first saw him at the hospital? Yes, but the only reason I could cry like that was because I missed you and didn't know when you'd be close again. I miss you too, he said. I'm certain of it. He will change. Simply watch. He spoke in a calm voice. Micah will see it our way. You will see. It takes time, that is all. I said, you're right as always, entirely trusting him. Can we meet up after my doctor's visit on Wednesday? I'd really like to spend time with you. I'll work something out, my dear, but hey, I have another thing I need from you. Say the word and I'll do it, as promised. Remember the small bottle I poured for you before we left? He inquired with a tone of mischief. Yes. It is still stowed away, safe in the freezer. Micah has no idea about it. I confirmed. Great. I want you to include it into Micah's favorite cake, the hummingbird cake. Thaw and blend it in. When he eats it, it will be like if he accepts me in some manner. He emphasized that when he is ready, he will join us in the way that we all want. His words rang with exhilarating potential. I laughed, happy with the concept. It will be thrilling to witness him introduced to our world in this way. I will prepare the cake today. It'll be fun to watch him enjoy it, knowing the secret, and our baby. How is our little one doing? He inquired, seamlessly transitioning the subject. Perfectly fine. Micah knows I'm not going to let go of our child. Your child, I reassured him. That's my gal. I'll get back to you around Wednesday. Keep your phone close, he said softly. I can't wait, honestly. As we began to wind up our conversation, I revealed that the notion of seeing you again made me very pleased. I was taken aback by our own plans, but I elected to keep my feelings to myself for now. I feel like I could bury them both deep in the woods, hidden away, but doing so would land me in jail for the rest of my life. I needed to leave the house quickly. I forgot my case. I'll call her from work and get it. My best buddy and wife have both deeply injured me. My mind was jumbled, filled with fury and hatred. I needed time to contemplate. My heart became frigid. All affection for her has vanished. Only the ashes remain. She broke me utterly. However, I had 4 clients waiting in court today. We'd already put it off twice, and I couldn't let them down. Tomorrow I have no work, so I can organize my thoughts. Then I finished my job today, and thankfully everything went well, lifting my spirits slightly. I texted Cindy. I got to discuss work over supper with a prospective client's family. There's no need to wait for me, Cindy. Got it, love, but reserve room for dessert. I made something special for you. Hurry back. I knew exactly what she was up to. Hearing the talk today was shocking, but it opened my eyes. Yet it tore me apart as if I couldn't breathe. I had to lie to her. I had no meeting. Eating alone helped me deal with deep hurt and rage. I was boiling inside. Never had I felt so betrayed. Jack would regret stealing my wife's love. I didn't know how yet, but evil thoughts were growing in my head. Cindy was also held accountable. I merely wanted more time to devise a strategy that would avoid getting caught by the authorities. When I arrived home, she was dressed up and acting sweet to me. I know you love hummingbird cake, and it's been a long since I prepared it. I spent the entire day on it, making sure it's exactly right for you. Why don't you sit in the den and I'll bring you a large piece? Your favorite show is on television. I tried to express my gratitude by following her instructions. She entered with a tray, a cold Coke, and a large chunk of the cake. I took a sip of Coke and prepared a large forkful of cake to devour, but then I scented it again. Is there something wrong, dear? I guarantee it's fresh from our kitchen, not purchased. Simply try it, she pressed. It smells strange, I told her as I continued sniffing. This may sound funny, but it smells of sex, just like a man's sperm. Did you modify anything about the recipe? What? No way. I swear this is the same dish I always make for you, she said, looking concerned. She came up, grabbed my fork, and smelled it. Darling, I'm not sure what you mean. I don't smell anything different. It is exactly as it has always been. Simply taste it and you'll know, she urged Cindy. I apologize. I simply cannot eat anything that smells like sperm. I could not smell it, but it was strong and unpleasant to me. The Coke tasted delicious, so I kept it. But the cake had to go. I'm sorry for the problem. Perhaps offer the cake to Jack and Donna next time. I said. She became quite angry and returned to the kitchen with the cake. Mad. I giggled a little when she couldn't see me. I overheard her throwing the cake away and saying crazy things. She refused to offer Jack what was in the cake. I couldn't smell anything unusual about it, but she was upset because I didn't want it. It rendered the cake meaningless. She must have thought I had a very nice nose. I've never shown that before. I determined that I needed to leave Cindy without losing too much money. Jack and Donna are normally the people I turn to for assistance with major issues, but Jack was involved in the problem. I could not tell Donna. She may have acted too quickly before I had finalized my plan. I can't leave Jack the way I can Cindy. If I stop seeing him, he won't be too hurt. But I want him to feel the same sadness I do. I need to figure out a good approach to achieve that. I kept what I knew to myself and planned my next action. Cindy left me alone that night, which was okay with me. I listened to the same 3 songs repeatedly. Colder Than Winter by Vince Gill. The police must have loved the rock set and sand. They made me feel slightly better late on Tuesday. I texted Cindy to let her know I needed to stay late at work again. Instead of coming home for dinner, I ordered a sub and had it delivered to my office. I didn't want a chance eating something strange again after what had happened. I couldn't trust Cindy anymore. I expected her to be unhappy with me when I arrived home, but she was genuinely delighted about something. I assumed it was because Jack had made plans with them on Wednesday. I am sorry you were stuck at work. But listen, I have good news, she said. Yeah. Donna called a little while ago to ask if we might hang out with them tomorrow night. Hanging out last weekend was fantastic for me. They'll come and get us just like the last time. I am really looking forward to that. You've been a little bland these days. I need this. So don't stay late at work tomorrow, please. Arrive home by 630. They will fetch us up at 7 o'clock. All okay, love, of course. Cindy, I would not miss it. I appreciate spending time with our good buddies. Oh, that is fantastic. I'll be very excited all day tomorrow. Waiting. Nice. I'm going to shower and sleep. I'm exhausted. Tomorrow should be enjoyable, as you said. She left me alone for the remainder of the night, probably considering meeting Jack again. I didn't care anymore. She could do anything with anyone, and I wouldn't mind. Wednesday proved to be a terrific day for me. I had time to consider what I wanted to do with Cindy and Jack. One thing was certain. I did not want to have to confront Jack with what was going on. I did, however, do something vital. I kept the taped conversation I overheard. I put it on a USB stick and transferred it to a new cloud account that I created. I did not inform anyone about the account. I still kept the recording on my phone because I intended to use it soon. After work, I headed out for some lunch. Cindy contacted me around 630, but I didn't answer. She texted me 4 times and called again in the next 15 minutes. Finally, at 645, I called her back. Hi, Cindy. Micah, where are you? Why didn't you respond to my calls? Jack and Donna will arrive any minute. You should be too. She spoke in a haste. I apologize, Cindy. I was not ignoring you. I've been conversing with my sister Paula. They are good buddies. They are at the hospital having a baby. My parents are gone and Paula cannot find anyone to care her children. They require someone they can trust. So I suppose that's me. What? You aren't coming because you're babysitting, really? Cindy, they need me. Harold tried to locate someone else, but had no success. I have to help them. Also, you don't need me there tonight, right? We saw them just last weekend. Go have fun without me. I may remain at Paula's depending on how things go. Micah, sometimes you are too good. I can't make you remain, but we will miss you. You will not even notice I am gone. Simply dance and have fun with Jack. I will be all right. So I hung up. I knew they would miss me less than they expected. My absence would have an impact on their night, but they'd still have fun. But everything was made up. I was going to my sister's, but I really wanted to witness a happy family, to demonstrate that a decent family can still be authentic with the appropriate people. I had them pledge not to tell anyone before I told my story. After the kids went to bed, the 3 of us devised a strategy to clean up the mess. I was impressed by their innovative ideas. I stayed over and went to work in my same suit on Thursday. I couldn't wait to get started on my plan, but I needed support to accomplish it correctly. Donna was first up. I called her around mid-morning and asked her to join me for lunch at a bar in Town's Edge. I instructed her to take 2 hours off, including the drive time. I made her pledge to keep the secret. I said if she told Jack or Cindy, I'd end it. She promised and kept asking for clues, but I told her to wait. I got there early. When she found me, she went to a quiet place away from the crowd. We ordered dinner and exchanged light talk. After the waitress had left, Donna pressed me for answers. So, Mike, what's with all the secret stuff? Was this caused by your absence last night? We missed you. Thank you for coming, Donna. And no, this is not about yesterday night. Then what? You're driving me crazy trying to guess. Donna, we have been friends for years. I've come to see you as a sister, a best friend, and someone I don't want anything awful to happen to. But first, I need you to make me a pledge. I sincerely vow that what I tell you will stay with us. This is only between me and you, okay? Don't say anything to Jack, Cindy, or anybody else because this could harm you. And I would not let that happen. Do you trust me enough to pledge to preserve a secret you don't know about? I am here because I care. I told her she wasn't pleased. So you want me to keep a big secret from my husband and my closest friend, just like that with no concept what's going on? Yes, Donna. I am telling you this because you are my best buddy. I want to protect you. You assisted me when Cindy wasn't present. I'm only trying to help out. She stared at me, trying to figure out if this was a trick, but she realized I was genuine. If I know anything about you, Micah, it's that you honor your promises. If it were anyone else, I'd be furious, but I trust you. You have my word. I grinned and breathed a sigh of relief. I placed some Kleenex on the table and handed her some Bluetooth headphones. Put those on, Donna. I hate having to do this, but it is necessary. Listen to this recording from beginning to end. Don't stop, I said. She nodded and snatched my phone, adjusting the volume. In less than 2 minutes, tears streamed from her eyes. However, she soon became enraged. She bravely listened to everything before putting down her headphones. Our dinner and drinks arrived, however, we only consumed the beverages. Not ready to eat yet? That's definitely Jack's voice. In that footage, Cindy responds to him directly, cannot argue with what they stated to each other. But how can we know they aren't just playing around? How can we be certain this is real? Is there any way to check this out? Two families could split out over this. Micah, this is huge. How did you get this recording? I was returning home one day after forgetting my briefcase. I was near the bedroom and overheard her conversing with Jack. I stole a glance and captured them on my phone. I guarantee you that this is the real deal, and I'm willing to show you more if you want it as much as I do. I need strong proof before I act. Show me, she said. Dana, the proof I'm going to show you is just for you to judge. It's going to get extremely personal quickly, but I don't see any other option. You know, Jack, only a wife could. I believe you'd recognize his private bits in a crowd of 1,000 men. The clip I'm about to show you was supplied to me by the person who took Cindy. It depicts her with a male. We cannot see his face, but his private parts are visible. Take care. Can you tell me, Dana, whether this is Jack in the video? I played the footage of Cindy with the unseen man. Dana gasped as she saw the man's private regions. That liar, that cheater. She put down my phone and burst into tears. I slid closer to her at the booth and wrapped my arm around her, hoping to provide some comfort. I cannot believe what they did to us. My cruel spouse spent a month with my best friend inducing her pregnancy. We wanted children. I'd always wanted to have children, and he gave her his first. I can't believe this. I'm quite angry at both of them. They've harmed me so badly. Micah, he claimed her, all of her, even her baby-making bit. Has Jack ever acted like he would cheat before? He admired Cindy's large breasts a lot. I considered getting surgery to make his intellect bigger, but he stated he didn't like phony ones, so he must have persuaded her to go forward with his idea. Jack acted like the boss a lot. He informed me about his wife, who listens and flirts with you. That time we danced. He came up with the entire swap idea but made it appear to be my idea, so you wouldn't assume it came from him. He talked a lot about wanting Cindy. Things Dad warned me not to tell you. Now I get it. Why? They both cheated. They exploited the fabricated kidnapping as an excuse to do whatever they wanted. I'll leave Cindy when the time is perfect. With all of their lies and treachery, I can't stay. But you take your time deciding on Jack. I could tell she was upset. I do not need to wait. I was nice to him, did everything. And this is how he rewards me. I want a divorce. I want him out of my life. It's sad, but I'm glad you mentioned it, Donna. But if we both leave our other halves right now, you can sure they'll end up together, happy, caring for their child and spending all of our money on it. She gave it some serious thinking. You're correct. So what can we do? I would rather not see them alive, but I don't want us imprisoned indefinitely. That is why I invited you here today, besides opening your eyes. Unlike Jack and Cindy, we have never cheated. We are alike. I've spent more time thinking about a plan, but we need to work together. You're key to taking them down. But I cannot tell you everything right now, not because I distrust you, but so you keep out of trouble thereafter. But I have to know, Donna. After today, do you still trust me? Do you trust me? Micah, you are now the only one I trust with my life. Whatever you're thinking, I support you. What happens next? All right. First and foremost, I want you to be better off than Jack after this. We are in a situation where it doesn't matter who did what. I will show you how to file online. It's inexpensive, costing less than $200. That is the first step. Once you've got the paper, the next step is critical. You cannot admit that. You know they cheated. Act normally. This will give you the finest deal. And that's my biggest concern. I don't want him to leave you without a dime. But I want to yell and toss him out. Call him all the names. Are you saying I can't do that? Do you think I should simply let him go away? That's what I am saying, Donna, but only because it will help you financially. I want to get back at them both big time. And here's my plan. But if you even hint that you're on to him, he'll take quick action to protect his money. And you'll wind up with significantly less. Can you manage giving him a taste of his own medicine, in a way? But they never admitted it. It's you. I noticed a variety of expressions on her face as she processed what I was asking. When her jaw set tight, I knew she was ready. I certainly can, Micah. So what is the plan? All right. When it's time to switch things up, tell Jack you want to split because you no longer love him. Say you've completely fallen in love with someone else but haven't pursued it because you don't want to deceive him. Thinking about you with another guy will drive him insane. He'll want you to tell him who it is, but you have to keep it a secret, otherwise he'll be very upset. You're correct. That will truly bother him. But what if he does not want to split? How do I get him to agree? I bet he'll attempt to hang on at first. But once you start the legal proceedings, he can't stop them. The most he can do is ask you to see a counselor and find a judge who agrees, which is pretty much what you should expect. Jack will despise the prospect of losing you to someone he does not know. He'll most likely hire a detective to inform you, install cameras in your home, and monitor your phone calls. Donna stared at me with love in her eyes. I can't claim he's not real. She stated this while touching my hand. I wasn't sure what to say. She then said, "How can we make Jack want to end our marriage?" "Easy and quick. What's stopping him from being in court for a year or more? Let's discuss bait. My plan might appear unusual at first. I want you to offer him a strong reason to agree. Fast. No money for you. Later. Alimony? Men generally dislike paying alimony. It's like sending money to your ex, so she may live her life without you. They despised it. But if you claim you're not going to ask for it, if he performs a few tasks, clear the house loan, give you the house and half of what you've saved up, which he'll probably have to do anyhow, he'll likely agree quickly. You claim you'll waive alimony if he agrees to an easy divorce. He'll consider the $50,000 in Cindy's bank. He believes he will get back to me. Be clear. This agreement only works if he agrees without a fight. Donna's eyes were filled with concern as she explained that saying he's not real isn't completely right. While her hand rested on mine, I stood silent, unsure what to say. Then she inquired as to what might motivate Jack to terminate things fast and peacefully. What can keep him from dragging it out in court for a long time? Here is the trick. We'll make him an irresistible offer. Men generally dislike the concept of alimony, the concept of paying their exes to live freely. Show him the deal. There is no alimony. If he takes care of the household, loan gives you the house and divides the savings and assets, as he would probably do. When he perceives that he may avoid paying alimony, he is likely to take advantage of the opportunity. He'll be thinking about the money in Cindy's account that he is counting on. Make it clear that this only works if he opts for an amicable divorce. He's likely to accept the offer. You may easily acquire a divorce here. 6 weeks. But why would I avoid asking for money? How does that benefit me? Just think. What if Jack loses his job? What if he didn't have any more money after we split? What if he went to jail? How could he pay then? I suppose it's better. I don't know very much. She replied with a smile and a wink. You are smarter than you believe. I laughed. Here is a tip. Give me your phone number and I'll show you the website for simple divorce filing. If everything goes smoothly, you won't need to hire a lawyer, saving you money. If you are having trouble filling out the forms or need assistance, please call me from your work phone. If he questions why you did it this way when you hand him the divorce papers, explain that you didn't want me as your lawyer because I am too close to him. He will believe you are unwise, but don't worry. I will not let you slip up, just as you were there for me. I am here for you, Donna. You have my promise. I kissed her cheek and wiped away her tears. I went out the other night. I decided to miss the celebration. I couldn't stomach being around Jack, so I made up an explanation. If Cindy wants us to hang out before you deliver Jack the documents, you can claim to be unwell or find another reason to avoid those traitors. Oh, do not worry. I aim to fill out the forms as soon as I return to work. I hope to deliver him the documents this weekend. Believe me, I do not want to be around those two any more than you do. Great. And I'll keep Cindy convinced we're fine until it's time for me to do the same to her. If I ended things with her now, we would face 2 negative consequences. First, it appears weird that both you and I are leaving our partners at the same time. They might assume I am your new love. We don't want them to think that yet. Second, if we both urge them to go now, they might team up and continue their affair. We want them to experience some of the pain we felt. I completely get it. Donna kissed me gently. Thank you for being more present than my husband and your wife ever were. I would be lost without you. It's nice to know you're here to help me with this, right? I could need you at some point. Donna is there anytime you need her. We both returned to work on Friday after work. Cindy clearly had something on her mind. Welcome home. I was wondering whether you thought we may get closer again. My doctor believes that resuming our romantic relationship will help me recover. Faster. That's what you want, correct? I'm not saying I don't want to. I can't quit thinking about your films with other men. Things have not been the same since you returned. You aren't the woman or wife I married. I've become a better person than I was before. Maybe for someone else, but not for myself. Please give me some time. I am trying. Okay. She said this while appearing sorrowful. I would do anything to get us back on track. Do you want me to be more honest and help you rekindle that spark? I'm concerned that this will exacerbate the situation. I just need time, Cindy. I get it. For now, how about I order pizza and subs for dinner? Is this okay? Maybe hanging out more will be beneficial for us. Also, may I call Donna to arrange a night out this Saturday? You missed the last time. I truly enjoy hanging out with them. It's the only fun thing left for me. I'm not feeling pizza tonight. What if we went to a nice restaurant for supper instead? I didn't want to spend too much time alone with her at home. I'm more comfortable being with her when we're out. Sure, that sounds good. How about tomorrow night with the collectors? Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Okay, one more thing. My doctor feels I should return to work. He says it'll make me feel better. Do you mind if I start teaching my art class again on Monday? I think that's a fantastic concept. You have been bored at home. Perhaps it is time for you to begin afresh. She grinned and went upstairs to prepare. Cindy arrived in 15 minutes, ready to go. She said, I will call Donna. She will check with Jack, but she thinks everything is all right, so we're ready for tomorrow. Great. Let's go to that Italian restaurant you enjoy. I assumed Donna would try to get out of it, unless Jack has said no. I drove slowly, ate slowly, and talked about simple topics like politics, the weather, her work, and anything else that would keep the evening peaceful. I think she liked it. We didn't fight once. I returned home, showered, and went to bed early. I ensured that the video on my phone was password protected in case she or anybody else became curious. I'd describe it as a secret file for a case I was working on for free. Saturday night, just as we were about to go see the collectors, Jack called. Donna had stomach problems that necessitated the use of Pepto-Bismol and medication to control her diarrhea. He apologized for having to cancel, but Donna wanted him close in case she needed anything from the store. I thought that was humorous. She maintained her word. Cindy was very disappointed, but she did get it. We decided to go a movie and eat dinner because we were all dressed up. Those simple things dominated our night. I was quite intrigued about what was going on at the collector's house, and despite numerous attempts, I finally discovered Cindy's hidden phone when she was showering to prepare for the night. She probably wanted to smell beautiful for Jack. I discovered it in a shoebox at the back of her closet, buried beneath other miscellaneous items. I didn't mind if they talked or texted, but with Jack maybe being kicked out this weekend, I didn't want him casually chatting to Cindy. The only way I could think of to break it fast was to use the microwave. It ignited a lot for about 10 seconds, just as I thought it wouldn't start up again. Feeling better? I placed it back where I found it. I knew the cautious Jack would not risk phoning Cindy's regular phone number, and I didn't think he'd want to upset me, especially given his marital problems. I suppose he'd have to ignore Cindy for a while. Sunday night at 6:45 p.m., my phone rang. Jack begged Cindy and me to meet him at Cracker Barrel for dinner at 715. I said yes right away. He arrived first and waited for us. He appeared worried and upset. He hugged Cindy and shook my hand, thanking us for coming over so quickly. That is what mates do, Jack. I noticed Donna didn't come with you. Is she still sick? His face fell, full with grief. That is why I phoned you both. You're my best friends, and I genuinely need your support right now. When Cindy was abducted by that evil person, you were there for me. I'm here for you. Whatever you need. What up, Jack? His eyes welled up with tears, indicating that he had previously cried. This is about Donna. She is leaving me. She wants a divorce. It hit me unexpectedly, man. I had no idea she was thinking like that. Something must have occurred while I was away on the West Coast. Divorce? Donna, are you serious? How? Why? He paused because of what she had said. She claimed she fell for another guy. I tried shouting, yelling, and screaming at her until I ran out of breath. She would not say who. That is why I called you Mike. She dropped significantly while I was gone. Did she ever mention another guy? Maybe a coworker or a buddy? She said a lot. I'm falling apart. This is ripping me up. I do not want to lose her. She is the best thing in my life. I wish this was only a horrible dream. Looking back, I reflected deeply on what I remembered. She never mentioned other guys. She prepared some meals. We watched television together as pals. Then she would leave. I told her she could stay over on weekends so she wouldn't have to drive so much. However, she never did. Do you think she was seeing someone else? That's difficult to believe. How about you, Cindy? He asked fast. You and Micah are her closest buddies. Yeah. I wish I could help you, Jack. Micah was the only guy she had recently told me about, and she wasn't happy with him. She was sad and angry since he didn't feel the same way when they danced together a while back. But since I returned, she hasn't mentioned any other guy. I am just as startled as you and Micah. I pledge not to keep secrets. I can't believe it either. When he gazed into her eyes, he knew she was being honest. She informed me they hadn't slept together. Not yet. She claimed she wouldn't betray her marital vows like Wei, but it appears she has truly fallen for someone else, and I don't know who. She instructed me to pack things and leave. I'm currently sleeping in a hotel room that the firm provided for clients. Our employer suggested I use it for a week or two. I should get an apartment for myself shortly. I'm so sorry, Jack. This is shocking to both of us. We had no idea she was seeing another man. Did you ask her about going to therapy together to try to work things out? Yes, I did, but she declined right away. She told me that she no longer loves me and that any love there was has vanished. She claims it's her and not me. I don't understand it. I wanted us to have children and become old. She no longer wants the same. She might not desire therapy, but I know a judge who could make her leave. This is my last chance. Otherwise, I might be single after only 6 weeks. He stated he was upset. You mean she has already given you the divorce papers? Yeah, it's like a hit in the belly. She had everything ready and handed me the paperwork herself. She told me that if I didn't sign the papers tonight, she'd seek $120,000 per year in alimony. She may not win much in court, but trying to fight it would ruin me, especially when establishing a new family and paying the payment every month. So sure, I signed the blasted paperwork today. This way she receives nothing. I needed to do it to rescue myself. I only hope that the counseling we need to conduct will help her see things clearly before it's too late. I and Cindy are here for you, Jack. What can we do? Thank you, Guy. I'm planning to hire a private investigator. Must follow her and discover the person who snatched her away from me. But if you two could pretend you're on her side, that might help. On her side. Yes, if she speaks to you guys. Listen, be compassionate, and attempt to figure out who the guy is that broke us up. Don't let on that we've spoken or that I'm asking you to look for information. Hang out with her as she drinks. Dance. Make her think you are with her. Perhaps after a few drinks, she'll stumble and mention his name. That's all I need. A name. Cindy and I agreed. Right there. We'll do everything we can for you. If she does not reach out, we will make the first move. You are the greatest. Really? Thanks. We left him feeling a little better as we headed home. Cindy appeared deep in contemplation. She eventually spoke up. I can't believe Donna wants to go out with Jack. She never complained about being miserable. Jack seemed like an ideal husband. Cindy was trying to acquire information. She suspects Donna or I have made assumptions about her and Jack's relationship. She questioned if Jack had done something wrong to have Donna act strangely. I cannot think of anything. Jack is my best buddy, and we've always been there for one another. He was quite supportive of me while you were not present. He even invited Donna to see me as a friend when I was going through a difficult moment. Maybe Donna didn't mention another guy because she knows how close Jack and I are. It might be difficult to convince her to trust me over him. She might open up more to you, especially after the embarrassing tango moment we had. Cindy glanced at me and questioned Micah. Darling, you are not thinking of leaving me, are you? After hearing about Jack and Donna, I'm concerned because we haven't been close since I returned. I'm concerned you could desire a divorce. What? Why would you assume this? Jack informed me that Donna had fallen for another guy. Nobody knows who or why. While you were away, all I could think about was getting you back. Yes, it was difficult to watch recordings of you with them while also knowing you were pregnant with one of their children. It has rattled me up. It's been difficult for me to return to normal after so much stress. But I don't think our lack of closeness is due to what happened to you. I have no intention of abandoning you, as Donna did with Jack. You did not do anything wrong. Jack did nothing wrong. Please do not worry about it, I told her, hoping to make her feel better. She smiled broadly and appeared to relax after hearing my comments. Donna contacted me at work on Monday morning. Thank God. I was desperate to talk after such a difficult weekend. Has Jack told you everything yet? It's good to hear from you too. Yes, he caught up with us over dinner last night. Tell us anything. How did it go? Was he angry when you told him? Oh boy. Was he mad? He roared and screamed more than ever before. I've never seen him this angry. He came quite close to hitting me, and for a while I thought he would. He did not take it well. He resents being told no, especially by me. But I did exactly what you said. You were correct about him. He was so worried about paying after the divorce that he handed me a house with no debt and half of our money. He signed the divorce papers quickly on Saturday night before I could retract the no-pay clause. I kept quiet about their secret. Not gonna lie. It was a tough voyage, but the worst is done. You did fantastic, Donna. I am proud of you, and I am still here for you. Even if Jack and Cindy believe I'm on Jack's side, just as I expected. He requested that Cindy and I observe you in order to determine who you are seeing. I pretended I knew nothing. He wants us to take you out, get you drunk, and then you can divulge all about who you like. This trick has really gotten to him. If Cindy calls, tell her you're too busy to talk, but set up a meeting time for both of us. We will continue to play our parts. Hey, I have another plan. What is that? She asked. I explained her my strategy over the phone, and she thought it was clever. I said that I did my best to discourage people from assuming it was me you liked, and this new idea may help keep it that way. Talking just about work could be a good idea for the time being in case Cindy tries to check my phone. I was delighted I shut off Cindy's hidden phone because when she returned home from her first day back at work, I beat her to the punch. How was your day back? It was great to get back to what I enjoy doing. The kids were glad to see me again, and none of the other instructors made it awkward, even though I'm sure they chatted a lot behind my back. I believe they did. Such information spreads quickly, but I am delighted you are happy to be back. Same here. Did you hear anything from Donna? Nope. You? Not really. But during lunch, I called her to inform her about my day. She then asked us both to go out to dinner on Wednesday night. I tried to get her to come here, but she insisted on going out. If you are okay with that, I told her we would meet her at 7 o'clock. I don't understand why not. Perhaps we will finally hear. What's up with Jack? Did she reveal anything throughout the call? We just had a quick conversation. She was swamped with work. She seems to be keeping herself occupied on purpose. Maybe. Do not think about what has been going on. Guess we'll find out on Wednesday. It works for me every night. Sitting together watching TV, I forced myself to take her hand and let her lean on me. I did not let her kiss me, but I believe she was fine with the tiny things I did. She seemed to think we were gradually getting better. If Jack had the opportunity to talk to her during the day, neither of them would want to meet for sex while he's repairing things with Donna. And Cindy is reconciling with me. Getting caught would further complicate their already troubled marriages. On Wednesday night, the three of us socialized as close friends. Donna looked smart in her tight skirt. Cindy and I tried to act cool as if we were just there to be good friends with Donna. Cindy got wine, but Donna opted for tea. We couldn't get her to drink, so we emphasized the "we're here for you" angle. Cindy began to discreetly inquire about Donna's boyfriend as she became more comfortable. Donna knew how to keep things interesting without giving too much away. As we previously discussed, we wanted to keep Jack and Cindy guessing while also keeping them from guessing about us. Donna stated, "It's great knowing you both have my back. Jack can be mean when he wants to. I'm glad he isn't ruining our friendship. Girls have to stand by each other. Donna, Mike and I are completely with you, knowing that we won't force you to reveal who your new guy is. But can you share anything? What's he like? How does he look? Has Monica or I met him?" Donna laughed a little. "It's funny you ask that. What's he like? He's the nicest, most generous, and dependable guy I have ever met. Always puts his partner first. I haven't met anyone like him. And his appearance. Believe it or not, Cindy, you have seen him before. You just didn't realize it. How is this so?" "When?" "You went to the family diner with some teacher friends not long before being kidnapped and harmed by the worst man ever." I don't know what day it was, but you were wearing a light blue shirt and a dark skirt. I saw you because I was also with him that day. My back was towards you. So perhaps you didn't see me. He was standing in front of me, looking directly at you. You must have seen him. I had no idea you were there at first and only noticed you when I went to the bathroom. Seeing you. I became concerned about what I would say if you came over, but you were talking and didn't notice me. Do you recall that day at the diner, Cindy? Cindy appeared to be trying very hard to remember. I remember eating out with Brenda and Valerie and wearing that outfit. It is true. I'm trying to picture it in my head, but it's not clear. Allow me to help you. Remember, he has dark hair and appears Asian, but he is not. Cindy closed her eyes tightly as if it would help. I think I remember seeing someone like that, but I am not sure. Are there any more clues? Donna laughed. That's it for now. I'm excited for you to meet Jack after we finish our divorce. I think you'll like him as much as I did at first. It was not planned. It's just happened. Oh, and about Jack. We have to see a counselor 3 times a week for 2 weeks due to court. He believes I might stay if we talk it out. That will not happen. I don't hate Jack. I simply don't love him anymore. Cindy said she needed to use the restroom and left us for a while, when she could not hear us. Donna and I spoke quickly, Donna joked. Thank you for telling me to include that diner and her work clothes in my story. It appears that she fell for our trick. I think so as well. She adores that outfit, so talking about it made your fabricated story appear genuine. She and Jack will continue to look for a man who is not real. There's a guy behind you who has been glancing around a lot. I bet he's looking for Jack. But seeing me and Cindy with you now and then fits the narrative. Donna, you're doing great. I hope you can remain strong during those meetings with him. Don't worry, Donna advised. I am so over him. There is no way I would return to him now. That is the spirit. Remember to call me at work if you need anything. You're not on your own, Donna. She nodded just as Cindy returned. We didn't stay much longer after that, on the way home. Cindy looked lost in thought, trying hard to piece together what she thought she saw at lunch. She asked if she could call Jack to tell him about meeting Donna. I let her use my phone and she put him on speaker. She told him everything Donna said. She even tried to describe the man she thought she saw, but it was a very plain description. Yet Jack got excited by what we told him and felt more pumped to find this guy who didn't exist. Donna had to laugh every time she got in her car. She knew she was being followed and found it so funny. At night, she'd drive to different hotels, still chuckling. Instead of meeting anyone she liked to eat alone at the hotel, she was playing games with them. She really didn't like going to the must-go counseling. At each visit, she only said a little, just enough to pass. The counselor scolded her for not trying to fix things. She didn't care what the counselor thought. After 3 talks, Jack saw that Donna didn't want to fix their marriage and didn't say why she wouldn't talk about her new love. After the 3rd talk that didn't go anywhere, the counselor said to stop seeing that her not willing to change meant they couldn't fix their problems. Jack felt very sad about this. He couldn't figure out why she pulled away all of a sudden. He kept his cheating secret, thinking neither Donna nor Micah knew. If the cops were still mixed up about the kidnap plan, then Donna and Micah should be in the dark too. Jack asked Cindy to have lunch during a workday. Won't people seeing us think it's weird and tell Donna or Micah? I don't think so anymore. Cindy. Donna wants to leave me and won't say why. I just can't figure out what's wrong with her. And Micah knows you and he are keeping an eye on Donna for me, so he won't think it's strange for us to catch up over lunch. You've got a point. She agreed about Micah. He stays in another room and hasn't been close to me since I got back. We just hold hands and peck cheeks now, but it drives me crazy. I've tried so much to get him closer, but he won't budge. He thinks he has to be the tough one who won't go back to what was master. You said you'd make him learn to be okay with us to join in, but that's not happening yet. Don't fret, little cat. I've got a trick to cut Micah down and show him I'm the top dog. Oh, what's your plan? You still get your niece Jenny, who's 10 to visit? Yeah. Yes, but with all that's been going on, I haven't seen her since I came back. Tell your sister you want to have Jenny for a day by the lake. They let you use boats there? Make it a full-day thing. Okay, boss. But why? What's this got to do with Micah? Here's what we'll do. You get Micah to take you and Jenny out on the water and boats for some fun. Then say we should also bring me along as a pal to help me feel better about Donna wanting a divorce. You and Jenny and one boat, and Micah and I and another. All four of us can't swim. I'll make sure the boat guy only has one safety vest left, and you'll make sure it goes to Jenny. Jenny's fine and water if she has something to keep her afloat, right? That is correct. Give her something to float with, and she's all good. Great. That's what I remember about her. We'll go far out on the lake, away from the safe swim area. You offered Jenny $50 to play a prank on Micah. When I nod, Jenny will act like she sees something in the water. She'll pretend to tip over and splash in, making a big show of being in trouble. Micah and I will be close. I'll grab Micah's attention and wait till he's terrified of the water. Then I'll jump in to save Jenny. I know her vest can hold us both in a spectacular display. I'll take us back to the boat where Jenny can be hauled in secure. Jack said I'll show everyone I'm better than Micah. It'll embarrass him a lot. It'll demonstrate I'm a hero for protecting your niece. Even if I can't swim either, he'll see I'm the best. Then he'll believe you need a better man. We'll progressively make him see it my way. I assure you he'll do what I want soon, Jack stated happily. Cindy was thrilled, assuming things would proceed as planned. She requested her sister to bring Jenny over early on Saturday. Jack managed to get the rental guy on their side, and Cindy developed a game for her niece. They pretended Jenny would act like she was drowning to fool Uncle Micah. They all went out in canoes. Jack and Micah followed the girls to a quieter portion of the lake. They played, splashed, and laughed. Jenny then pretended to fall in. However, two things went wrong. Jenny pushed Cindy's canoe away as she jumped, and her life jacket was not properly fastened since she raised her arms like a child. The snap at the bottom snapped during the jump, and when Jenny hit the water straight down, her life jacket flew off her like a rocket, 20 feet away as she plummeted. Jack and Micah went to Jenny's frantic calls for assistance. As they came closer, she slipped below the surface. Cindy cried for rescue at the top of her lungs. This was all too realistic. Jack and Micah exchanged looks. Both realized they couldn't swim. Jack had not considered the life jacket coming off. He was about to ask Micah what to do when he noticed Micah jump into the water near where Jenny fell down. Jack and Cindy were astonished. Jenny and Micah appeared to be at risk of drowning on the other side of the lake. Cindy's terrifying screams were heard by the swim area's lifeguard. She and her assistant hurried into their small boat, started the engine, and raced toward the pandemonium as quickly as they could. Cindy and Jack peered toward the sea, hoping to spot Jenny or Micah. Jenny's head suddenly emerged from the water. She yelled and flailed in an attempt to maintain balance. Then something that neither of them expected happened. Jenny calmed down. Cindy shouted at her niece, demanding what was going on. "I'm fine," Jenny said. "Uncle Micah has me. He's gripping my feet and supporting me on his shoulders. I feel his hands on my ankles. He must be standing at the bottom. I can breathe now. My head is out of water. He saved me." She cried out with relief. "Uncle Micah is saving me." Just then, the lifeguard arrived in the boat and seized the girl's hands. She shouted to her assistant to get her into the boat. "Take her to the shore now and wait for me." She gazed down into the water, hoping to spot the man. She noticed a shadowy form sinking below. Not today. Not now. She shrieked and dove deep into the water, grabbing the still body on the bottom with a firm grasp on his wrist. She pulled him up. She kicked hard, pushing through the water to bring him to land. She knew CPR wasn't effective in the water. Her assistant had already brought a young girl to shore. Cindy and Jack were close behind, eager to assist. She called out quickly as she approached the landing area. "Get them out! We are losing time!" Her aide, a strong man, hauled the lifeguard and Micah onto the beach by himself. "Call 911, she yelled. "We urgently need an ambulance." Jack did what she said, alerting the emergency personnel to dispatch an ambulance. The lifeguard performed as she was trained, turning him so water could spill out of his lungs before flipping him back to begin CPR. This was her first real save, and she didn't hold back. She saw his chest move as she breathed for him and pressed down hard again. She asked the girl, assuming he was her father. "What's his name?" "Micah." "Uncle Micah?" Jenny whispered softly. That was then she realized her uncle had risked everything to save her. "Micah!" She shrieked and pressed down hard on his chest, fighting to save him. "I'm Gwen. and I'm not going to lose you today. Do you hear me? Micah, fight. Micah, fight hard. Do not give up. Okay, she roared at the steel man. She pressed harder to make his heart beat. She heard a snap in his rib cage. She did not stop. If he was gone, he wouldn't know. She continued to breathe into his mouth without pausing. Micah coughed just before 2 minutes, releasing water mixed with spit. I opened my eyes as I returned. I coughed again, hoping to get the rest of the water out. "Sir," the anxious girl inquired, "what is your name? Can you recall it?" I didn't understand why she asked. Then I realized she was checking to see whether everything was good in my head. Micah Albright, Miss. I have a significant debt to you. Thanks. Sir, you don't know anything about me. It is my work, and honestly, you've made my day. This is the first time I've had to perform CPR, and you are making me seem fantastic. She grinned as I attempted to sit up. My ribs hurt so much, she remarked. Stay down, Micah. Your ribs took a hard hit. Kevin passed the blanket from the boat. He might get shocked, and I don't want him to become frigid. The young man did what she requested. She had to inquire after she made sure I was okay, and that the discomfort was caused by my cracked ribs. Micah, don't you know how to swim? No, ma'am, I'm afraid not, but I believe I will learn shortly. I simply don't see it, she thought aloud. You're either the bravest person I've ever met or not the brightest, and right now I'm not sure who you are. If you can't swim, why would you jump into the ocean to save her when you know you'll almost drown? Oh, that's simple, I explained. My niece was in difficulties on the lake. She needed time. There is just enough time for you to come. When I stated I'd sacrifice my life for hers. Everyone remained quiet. Then Cindy and Jenny started crying together. Happy? I was still alive, but I was surprised by my decision. They observed that I did something unexpected. It turns out that Jack, the person who came up with this idea, did not even get wet. He would have let Jenny die, calling it terrible luck. Cindy began to see me and Jack in a different light. She liked me more now. Jack did not have much to say. People hailed me as a hero, and TV crews discussed what I and the swim guard did. The following day, Jack was forced to fly west for work because a major customer was in danger and only wanted him. This means leaving for up to 3 weeks. He had no other options. It was okay. Donna was already not listening to him. She used to obey everything he said, but not this time. After straightening things out in the West, Jack returned home. His marriage was about to terminate in 2 days, in court. He tried one more time to make things right, but the judge could tell Donna wasn't going to change her mind. She was resolute in her decision. The judge struck his gavel firmly. They are ending their marriage in one go. It was finished. Donna quickly exited the courtroom, not wanting to see him again. Jack, with all of his money, couldn't figure out who Donna's new man was. But it no longer mattered. She could be with anyone she wanted. Now a single man, Jack considered his next action. He chose Cindy as his new wife. He had power over her, and she considered him her leader. She was ecstatic to have his baby. They both said, "I love you," to one another, and Micah. Her current man was not close to her. If Micah did not want her, Jack was willing to step in. Despite the fact that Micah was his old college pal, Jack was willing to end their connection in order to be with Cindy. He intended to talk to Cindy shortly about dumping Micah. Jack felt sorry for Micah, but he liked him to be miserable about himself. Maybe he and Cindy might help Micah meet someone fresh. Jack skipped work after his divorce, citing emotional distress. He wouldn't be much use there anyway. He went to a sports bar to watch a game, eat, and forget about his problems until he had to return home alone. It was 11 p.m. when he arrived home. He unlocked the door, stepped inside, and then shut it behind him. His keys landed on the table as he strolled through the darkness to his bedroom. The lights turned on, and 2 large males were sitting in his living room. "Nice to meet you." One of the guys told all of my work buddies and bosses at the law place that I had just set up our new location near the seashore. Oh boy. Guess what? I am no longer married as of today. Therefore, I am sure you will understand when I say I desperately need some alone time. Sorry for dropping this so quickly, but I need to take leave for a month or 2. I intend to travel extensively and will be unable to communicate. My phone is still here at my place. You guys decide who does my work. I feel horrible about rushing out, but if I don't, I might go insane. I'm going to miss you a lot while I try to relax. I can't wait to return full of energy and go back to work. Thank you, everyone. Jack Kalisha. Once the gruff guy had checked and confirmed that the new email was correct and that it would be delivered to all of the appropriate recipients, he instructed Jack to press send. Jack was shaking when he said this, knowing it signified something significant. For the following month, he was frightened of what might happen next. The tough guy inquired, "Do you pay for lights and water with your rent?" "Yes, I pay month to month, and it covers everything. Go online and pay for the next month. Now do it, youngster." Jack knew a little Spanish, enough to realize that kid was not a kindly phrase. They were mocking him, so he immediately paid the rent for the following month. Jack was astute. He knew that writing that email and paying his rent early would help to alleviate any concerns. If he abruptly disappeared, explain why he would be unable to communicate, even if this was unusual for him. "Okay, I've completed all you requested. Can I leave now?" "Go." "No, kids, your vacation hasn't begun yet. We got big ideas for you." They stayed up late watching television. Finally, at 2 a.m., one of the rough guys stepped outdoors to look around. When he returned, they all exited silently, strolling to the parking lot. They had Jack lock his door. He was still wearing the same clothes and carrying only his wallet and keys. He was ordered to be quiet, or else, so he didn't say anything. They approached a basic white van in the parking lot. As they approached, the side door gently opened, allowing them inside. Inside, Jack spotted Anthony, his assistant, tied up and wearing a gag. They used large zip ties to secure his hands and feet. Jack received the same patch as the van drove away to an unknown location. Cindy went to see her baby doctor alone about a month ago because it was too early for her baby's growth. Her doctor advised her to eat healthily, exercise around, and take certain vitamins to help her baby grow healthy. This time, she really wanted me there because they were going to see the baby within her for the first time. She thought it was important for me to feel attached to the kid, but I saw it as the child from her adultery. Still, I hadn't left her yet, so I had to behave like a decent husband and accompany her. I smiled and appeared overjoyed for her. Donna called Cindy on Saturday and asked to meet and chat about food. She looked wonderful and was really happy. "I'm so delighted you two could make it tonight. I've been feeling fantastic. Just so you know, my divorce with Jack is complete. I'm currently single." Cindy could not believe it. She expected Jack to reconcile with Donna. He claimed he had Donna and her under control. How could Donna be free then? She wasn't sure what to think. Without Donna, Jack's plan to swap partners seems hopeless. But she set those ideas aside for now and asked Donna for further information. "Donna, we've been friends for ages. Michael and I have been fine with you keeping your new guy a secret." Donna gave a broad grin when she said, "He, and I think it's best not to brag about our relationship right now. I mean, I just got out of my former marriage yesterday. We'd like to wait a little before coming out in front of everyone and talking about it." "Cindy, thank you for waiting for me. Could you give it a little more time?" "Sure," Cindy said, but she was not pleased. She had intended to find out what information Jack required. Cindy didn't understand why Donna was keeping it so hidden. Donna wanted to pay up the dinner cost after she asked us out. We had a terrific time laughing like we often did, but someone was absent. Donna and I were relieved that one of the two wrongdoers had left that night. She did not bring him up again. I just wanted to cut Cindy off like that. Cindy pushed hard once we got back. "Mike, it's been too long since we've been close. You are a man with needs. I also have needs. We're still married, and it's been 3 months since I was taken. You are a hero because of what you did to save Jenny. I wish to express my gratitude in a personal way. It stings that you turned me down. I need you to be there for me as my husband. I got it. But let me ask you a few questions to assess where we are in our marriage, okay?" "Sure. Go ahead. Do you still shave down there for somebody else, even if I dislike it?" "Yes, but I'm not sure why that's an issue. Since I returned, you have not looked once. Next up, can I take that hideous necklace off of you? I told you that I couldn't. This is my promise. Collar. That is what I guessed. So you're still saying another man owns you and that beats our wedding band?" She paused, not liking how that sounded, and then spoke gently. "Yes, as your hubby. I understand why we aren't close, but there's a significant reason. You cut all of your hair for another man, not for me. You wear his collar proudly. You tell me. He has more control over you than I do. You want to be with me in bed simply because he told you to? I saw those films of you too. I don't believe you were coerced. Not from the beginning. And you believe I should be fine with this? Being with someone who claims she is owned by someone else? Wow. That's every husband's dream. What's not to like about that? I'm astounded at how much you've improved with the therapy. I said that with sarcasm. Cindy looked aside and then snapped back. If you aren't powerful enough to suit my needs, perhaps I should look elsewhere. Oh, seriously? Will you pick up some random guy at a bar? Maybe. Perhaps I won't need a stranger. Jack is unmarried and free. I'll go to his apartment and spend some time with him. And if he wants to fulfill me, perhaps I will allow him. I acted surprised, Jack. Really? My best friend. If he touches you, it means he does not appreciate our friendship. You two would destroy our marriage and my long-standing friendship with him all at once. She didn't respond, just stormed off to her room. Sunday afternoon, after lunch, she took a little bag and headed to her car. I'm not sure when I'll be returning. Do not wait. I may not matter to you, but just so you know, if you get too close to Jack or any other man, I will end our marriage immediately. And do not worry about me. I'll be searching online for the greatest divorce lawyer I can find. I thought Jack was the best lawyer I could have chosen. She merely grinned and walked away swiftly. Cindy returned about 1 a.m., attempting to sneak in with her bag but waking me up. Did you find all you were looking for? I questioned sharply, looking alarmed. He is not there. I knocked repeatedly, but there was no answer. His automobile was present, but no sign of him. I waited all day and night. He might have gone out with buddies. Do you know where he might be? Has Jack called you? Not him, I said, but I received a hint. What do you mean? I sent her a printout of an email Jack wrote to everyone at work. While searching for a lawyer, an email popped up. The divorce hit him deeply. It seems. He did not tell me anything. Did he tell you about any trips? She was shocked. She couldn't imagine Jack leaving like way without telling her. No idea. Micah, I am as surprised as you are. Did you end up looking for someone else tonight? Screw you, she yelled back. For your information, I waited in the car all night for Jack. I only left once to grab a quick bite. It appears that neither of us received anything. We spent another night in various rooms. Cindy received a special delivery the next day at the art school where she teaches. When she opened it, the delivery man insisted that she sign for it right there with him. She experienced a combination of shock and dread. The note was too similar to the one left when Micah was taken. Mrs. Albright, my friends and I have spent some time with Jack Callister and his assistant, Anthony. We've wanted to screw with him for months. We grab what we like. He's fine for now. How long he is okay depends on you. If you follow our instructions, they will return safely. We plan to have fun with Jack and Anthony for at least a month. Just so you know, this note cannot be tracked. The only prints on it are your own. Do not speak to the police. If you do or do not follow our instructions exactly, we will keep them with us for at least 2 months. We'll know if you contact the cops. We have folks. You'll find a USB device in the packet. It has a unique program from the dark web. Plug it into your computer and power it on. It will determine whether the computer is yours and not the police's. It understands the difference. It will create a shortcut on your desktop to access a special cloud account created on the dark web. Then it deletes itself. It's a one-time thing. I wouldn't spend it on the police after having so much fun with Jack and Anthony. We will upload clips of our times to the cloud. You'll use the new method we installed on your computer to watch all of those videos. We want you to pay close attention to Jack and note how many genuine happy moments you believe everyone enjoys with him during each video. Cindy had to sit down quickly to avoid falling over. Could this be why Jack wasn't home yesterday? Is this a nasty joke on her? Jack and Anthony were complicit in her phony kidnapping scheme. Who authored this note? Who else is in on this? Who is the U.S. in the note? That are these ladies that used him for evil things and want money? Where is he? Did Micah or Donna figure out our trick and are now retaliating against us? She couldn't predict till she watched the first video. She had to stay calm. She took a deep breath and returned to her classroom. Micah appeared clueless when he returned home. He did not laugh or wink. If he did this, he appeared extremely calm. She observed no difference in him, even though she was still upset with Micah for refusing to be close. She understood she needed to keep her marriage together for the time being. She followed the letter's instructions and created the link. It presented a video that demonstrated how to transmit $50,000 to a cryptocurrency account in another country. She couldn't do it online, so she planned to visit her bank the following day. She guessed that the $50,000 was the amount Jack told his kidnappers she could pay without raising suspicions, and while she didn't appreciate losing so much money, she'd do anything to keep Jack safe. She intended to keep monitoring the cloud account frequently. Donna called me at work from her office the following morning. We agreed to eat lunch together. "Hello, Micah. Thank you for meeting with me today. I hope this does not interfere with any of your plans." "Hello, Donna. It's always good to hear from you. I am happy to meet you at any moment. It's just us. That's good to hear. How are things going for Cindy now?" "It is the same. She went to Jack's over the weekend and waited for him for hours. If he had been present, they would most likely have reunited. I guess she's bored of waiting for me. I cannot forgive her. I intend to leave her when the time is perfect. Jack wasn't present. Unfortunately, she claimed to care." "And when do you believe the best time to leave her will be?" she asked in a playful manner. "Things have already begun, and now we're in the calm before the storm. It won't take long. I'd explain more, but as I already stated, it's best if we both pretend we don't know." She smiled and added, "Okay, I won't ask any more for now, but one day I hope you'll tell me everything. Trust me, I will. Donna, seeing you happy brightens my day. When everything is finished, I will contact you." Cindy knew she could see any male she wanted, but she prayed Micah would be her first choice when it felt right. "My dear Micah, just so you know, like the old song goes, my eyes are just for you." They grinned and held hands during dinner, promising to stay in touch. Cindy sent money from her bank at lunch, intending not to make a fuss. She prayed Micah wouldn't question about the money she just sent away. If he did, it could indicate that he was part of the scheme. But why should he? She had urged him to use money as he wanted for them, but he showed little desire to spend it. She believed Jack would repay her once she bailed him out. She did not enjoy the idea of watching Jack with other ladies. It wasn't a shock. His large size was desired, but she did not want to view him on film. Cindy finished work before Micah because of her academic schedule. She dashed to her room and booted up her laptop to check for updates. There was a message thanking you for sending the money. The next thing she needed to do was count how many times people had fun with him. She hoped to learn something new while she was with Jack again. But what she witnessed made her sick. Jack was kneeling in a large room surrounded by men dressed as bikers. She couldn't believe it as Jack gladly approached the first man. She watched as 3 men finished one after the other while Jack kept going. After that, 12 more males approached him, clutching their parts. He grasped the tops as they dropped into his open mouth. It appeared that someone else had prepared them before they exploited Jack's mouth in that way. Could Anthony have done it? Next, Jack was lowered on his knees by a bed. They released go of him from behind one at a time. She could hear the loud, ecstatic sounds as each man took his time with Jack, even if it didn't seem real. He acted as though he enjoyed it. She watched 32 times. Stuff was introduced into her friend's mouth and behind area. He didn't appear to like it as much as he had with her. This made her cry, knowing how poorly he was being handled. She was saddened to think that this might continue for a month. She could not do anything to help. The males all spoke Spanish. She didn't understand English the entire time. May, Laplace, Pinochet, and Calero. One stated she discovered it meant something unpleasant, like, "Do that thing with your mouth." Falando pincha puto was another nasty phrase used to describe forcing someone to finish in a mean way. She posted a phone number on Facebook in the hopes that Micah would not see it and call. He rarely looked at Facebook. She had a thought. Micah returned home late. She was still preparing dinner to avoid any questions. She told him I wanted to make spaghetti, but we were out of some ingredients, so I had to deal with what we had. It'll be done in about 5 minutes. Fortunately for her, Micah believed her and stated it smelt good to change out of his work clothes. He did not know. She spent the entire time viewing videos of Jack. She was pleased that he would join her for dinner. He frequently took a bite before going home. Maybe she can still keep him close. She stayed silent about Jack's problems, the money she had paid, and the strange items she had discovered on her computer. Micah just discussed his boring legal career and made no mention of Jack or anything else. We both knew what Jack's email to the workplace said, so there was nothing new to say about him. The following day, there was another video. The opening scene told this story. They were instructed to hold their partner's thing in their mouth for 12 hours without pausing. They were also promised that the person who makes the other finish more and catches it all would receive delicious cuisine the next day. Those who do not, we will only receive water. The view changed to a bed where Jack and Anthony lay head to toe, each holding the other's item in their mouth. They both worked hard to ensure that the other finished as many times as possible. Cindy saw a lot of hard stuff on those tapes. Every day seemed to be the same. Jack was the primary character in them, never dressed, always with the bikers. Anthony appeared briefly, but Jack dominated the picture. Cindy could only watch without skipping any scenes, and it made her stomach turn. She had to witness Jack doing things she wished she could unsee. She kept note of everything that happened to Jack, and shared the numbers as the days passed into weeks. Cindy felt differently about Jack. She used to think of him as her tough guy, but after seeing him like this, her feelings changed. It all became too much, particularly in the third week. Cindy suspected a new gang had arrived when she noticed faces she didn't recognize. They all attacked Jack, with little regard for safety. Cindy counted while feeling increasingly distant from the man she once admired. Cindy assumed Jack had a lot to cope with every day for the last week, and she hoped her numbers were correct, so Jack's difficult time would be over in 30 days. She couldn't imagine going through another month like this. During the breaks, one of the riders spoke with Jack away from the cameras. "We searched around your place before bringing you here and found nothing interesting. But now Anthony, your lover, claims you have videos of you two with a stunning girl. Why couldn't we find them? We want to see the female he was talking about. If you lie, things will become much worse for you. Where are the videos? In my hometown, in my bank safe box. Good. Use that laptop over there to put a name on your bank box. Print the form. A friend of mine will sign it and send it to your bank. We will acquire the videos from there." Cindy had to think carefully about her life today. She assumed Jack didn't want to be around all those bikers at first. She realized he was into it. She could not see him. The same method as before. Even if he returned, he would not be the dream guy she remembered. When I returned from work, Cindy had prepared a large meal for me as Jack had gone on break. I wasn't concerned about weird ingredients in my food. All of my favorite meals were there. Cindy appeared good, but not too much. She was the Cindy I had almost forgotten about. "What is this for?" "It isn't my birthday. I just want to do something nice for my husband, okay?" "Usually, yes, but come on, Micah," she interrupted me. "I put forth a lot of effort. Let's have a nice dinner tonight. I'd like to talk about something after, and it would be best if we weren't hungry." I agreed, not knowing what she was thinking. "Okay, let me wash up. I will be right back." Dinner was excellent. She did a great job. I was so excited that I even helped clean up afterwards. It had been a long time since we had done something like that. She was grateful for the assistance. After everything had been cleaned, we sat in the living room. She seemed to have a lot to say. "Micah, I've been thinking a lot about what you said since that bad time. My therapist showed me how I've changed and treated you poorly since I returned. I apologize for all the mean and strange things I've said that have harmed our marriage. You made it sound as if our marriage was nothing compared to yours. With that terrible guy. Whatever he showed you or what you think you learned from him means nothing to me. It does not benefit our love or marriage. I'm really unhappy with us right now," I said it irritably. "Micah, things have changed. My therapist has fixed me. I got rid of my Stockholm thing. I don't feel obligated to my captor anymore. I am not scared. He can just grab me whenever. I believe in your love and care. I want us to be just like we were before. All the bad stuff. Can we do that? Let me be your wife again, like before. I am better now." "Really? My therapist helped me see where I went wrong." "That's great to hear." "You! Saying sorry means a lot. This is the first time you've done it. Are you certain you want things to return to their previous boring state?" "Yes, I am absolutely certain. Totally. For sure. You deserve it. What about your shaving routine? Are you going to continue doing that?" She was looking directly at me. "No, Razor will touch me there unless you allow it." "So what about him? I thought he had you for good. My therapist helped me see who he is." "Let me go. If you take me back, I'll be yours and yours alone," she said. "Really? So what about that necklace you always wear?" She removed everything except that, knelt down, and kissed my feet before continuing. I still wear it because it means so much to me. It's about showing loyalty to someone else. But I can't take it off myself. My master is the only one who can do it. What? I mean, Micah, I am extending myself to you as never before. I want you to take all of me for good. You're the only one. I want to take this necklace off. So what you're saying is, you don't want me to take off your collar unless I put one of mine on you, saying I'm your owner and you're mine in that way. Well, not exactly those words, but yes, that's it. You've given me a lot to think about. How long do I have to decide? She looked shy. I was hoping you'd say yes now. But since you're the boss, you need to think about it and do what you feel is right. My offer stays till you tell me your answer. Get dressed. Cindy, I can't handle this now. I'll think over what you said. For now, things stay as they are. Yes, sir, she answered softly. I hope you find it worthwhile that I chose you. I am yours if you want me. She softly rose, collected her dress, and exited the room. This astonished me. I wondered if her therapist actually helped her, as she claimed, or if it was something else. She didn't provide any clear reasons for the shift, so I questioned her statements. I was in no rush to respond to her offer. She wants me to get involved in this leading and following game. I found it unusual that she wanted things the same as before, but now want me to be in a setup with her, which I am not ready for yet. 3 days later, a little envelope arrived in the mail. There was no name on it. Cindy placed it on the table for me to locate. We normally don't open each other's letters unless instructed to. I took it into my room and opened it. Metro PD. How can I assist you today? Morning. I am Micah Albright. Could I speak with Detective Cassandra Jennings, please? Hold on. I will connect you with her. Detective Jennings is here. Hi, it's Micah. Micah Albright. Hello, Micah. I remember you. Sorry, but there is no news on your wife's situation. We've been really busy. That is okay. Cassandra. I contacted because I had new information that could help solve the case. Really? What happened? I received a package. There's no name on it, but it contains what we need to catch. Who did it? What kind of stuff? Micah. Can I come and show you today? It'd be better if I showed you. Okay. How's 10 o'clock? Perfect. I will be there. I didn't work today, so I could meet with the detective. I arrived early, and soon it was my turn. So, Micah, what's the big news? I handed her an envelope containing a 256 GB USB drive. I began to tell her about it. This arrived in the mail. It has a long video on it. It describes what happened to my wife, Cindy. She wasn't taken as we expected. She left with my best buddy, Jack Kalisha, and his employee, Anthony Taller. They utilized a business trip as a cover. Jack wanted me to watch this film because he thought it would make me comfortable swapping spouses. Everything is right there, bright and clear. There's also some chopped video available online. You'd think that only the person who took the videos could have them. Man, she said you tampered with this proof. I wish you had phoned me when you first suspected something was wrong. To tell you the truth, Detective, I was cautious. I used gloves and touched only the edges. I produced a clone of the chip for myself. If your team looks through the USB, they'll probably locate Jack Collier's and Anthony's prints. His assistant, Anthony, took the videos. He returned from the West Coast and uploaded the videos here, attempting to fool you. Wasn't Jack pressuring you to involve the cops? Yes, but it was to keep the heat away from him. He knew I would keep him on it, man. She spoke again. And someone sent you this evidence without a name yet. Cassandra, you know how this goes. My adversary is also my friend. It appears that Jack had enemies other than me who wanted him caught. Do you believe this is sufficient to charge them and win? I'll need to speak with Jack's wife. She might have done it. Ex-wife. Donna's calling her. She abandoned him before his vacation. I understand that my opinion is unimportant, but she is not involved in this. He has injured her, exactly like me. If that's the case and things are as you describe, that alters everything. How is that, Cassandra? It's as though we're beginning from scratch. Kidnapping is a serious crime and we were off track. If your evidence demonstrates that there was no actual kidnapping, but rather a fabricated one, the 3 people can only be charged with plotting a kidnapping, which is a minor felony. They could only get a year maximum for this. Telling a lie about an occurrence is a minor offense that can result in up to a year in jail and a $6,000 fine. The police might also request reimbursement for the money they spent on the bogus case. Just 1 year in jail? Yes. Sherry Papini, a 41-year-old mother of 2 from Northern California, recently received an 18-month sentence for fabricating a kidnapping narrative that drew national attention and spent a lot of money to investigate across states. However, she was out in less than a year. She stated she went running near her home in Redding, California. She left her phone and earbuds on the ground. An old boyfriend picked her up and drove her 600 miles to his home in Costa Mesa. She returned 3 weeks later on Thanksgiving, tied up. She was hurt and had a mark on her shoulder 150 miles away from home. She blamed 2 women who she said took her at gunpoint. It took the cops years to discover out the truth while searching for the fictitious kidnappers. When she returned, she discovered a man's DNA on her clothes, which was a vital clue. This DNA matched a relative of her ex-boyfriend. When they discovered him, he admitted to helping her make the mark on her skin and making her injuries appear real before abandoning her on the side of the road. She continued to maintain that it was a fabricated story until she was found guilty. And indeed, her spouse begged to leave her straight away. I suppose I saw some of that on the news. So they got off easily? Not really. Micah, the prosecutor. They might be charged with wire fraud. That is a major deal. Using a computer on the internet to fool people. According to the legislation, they may get between 10 and 20 years. They posted those movies online to annoy you. This may be a clear win, but we need to investigate it first. Before I give you the proof, I need to ensure Cindy will not be faced with a money lawsuit following the trial. She can face any charge and serve any amount of jail time. You won. But don't sue her for money. That would deplete my personal funds. You may go after Jack and Anthony all you want, but not Cindy. If that is not an option, I will walk, and you will have no case. I need to call the DA. She stated that the call occurred out of earshot and lasted approximately 10 minutes. She returned, beaming. We have an agreement, Micah. Let us spend a week reviewing your proof. If it's good, the district attorney shall draft the agreement. Just give us 1 week. Cassandra, I trust you. Grab this and get started. She smiled, took the items, and handed them to her colleagues. I'm coming back. She had another inquiry. Do you know where they could be if we needed to pick them up? It's funny you asked. 3 weeks ago, Jack informed everyone at work that he would be out for a month, so he should be back within a week. Jack awoke in a familiar area. His abode was a horrible dream. Finally finished. He looked beside him and noticed Anthony, also naked, asleep next to him. Jack remembered feeling a needle in his neck, followed by nothing. They must have been transported back home. He shook Anthony awake. Jack noticed his wallet and keys close by. He was ecstatic to be free. Then someone knocked on his door. He got out of bed, retrieved a robe, and opened the door. It was the police. Are you on par with Jack? One cop inquired. Yes, how can I help? Just then, Anthony, still naked, arrived to see who was present. This was a new area for him. Are you named Anthony? Taller? The cop looked at Anthony. Yes. What's happening? Jack? Anthony asked. Guys, please get dressed. My friend and I need to take you to the station to chat. I am a lawyer and know what we can accomplish. We won't go with you right now. We just got here. What is this all about? We need to take you in. We have paperwork. You must come now. It is entirely up to you if you do not look well in your attire. Jack expressed confusion. Come inside. Officers, thank you. We'll dress quickly and join you. I'm not sure what's going on. When they were apprehended and booked, they discovered they faced serious fraud charges. In addition, there will be a modest charge for lying about a crime, as he was being processed. Jack noticed a loud woman. Cindy was also charged. She escaped the huge charge but was still hit by the laying charge. They all stayed in custody overnight before their court appearance the next day. Thanks to Jack's friends, they were released on bail after pleading not guilty. They were told to stay in the state until their 4-week trial. When Jack heard this, he became quite loud. He was about to begin a major project, opening a new office on the West Coast. However, the judge allowed Jack to carry out his duties despite the condition. He returns for the trial. Anthony returned to work only to find out he had been sacked. He hadn't notified his supervisors why he was gone like Jack had. Jack hired a lawyer from his firm to represent them all. This lawyer was also expected to serve as the new office's deputy. He asked for all of the DA's proof. That's when they discovered that someone had emailed Micah videos. The films revealed Jack, Anthony, and Cindy together in a scandalous situation. Jack assumed Donna and Micah were aware of their idea, but he questioned if Donna and Micah could afford or carry out such a large plan to make them pay for a month of wild times. His gut told him Micah was the one, but hard evidence was required. He wanted to blame someone for his kidnapping, but he needed evidence. His kidnappers never mentioned Micah or Donna's names. Jack entrusted the situation to his astute lawyer and headed west to take charge. He had not yet been found guilty under the law. I feel sad for Anthony. He promised him a position on the West Coast. But the judge said Anthony could not leave the state until his hearing. Jack encouraged Cindy and Anthony not to worry, implying they'd probably get a slap on the wrist once the judge noticed them. Jack didn't want to collide into Micah. What might he say? He didn't apologize for sleeping with his wife or wanted to take her away. He still suspected Micah was involved in his capture from afar. He had a private investigator look into who could have done it. Micah lacked the power. Neither did Jack. To be honest, Jack was too ashamed to tell the world where he had been or what he had done the previous month. Tests revealed that he contracted 2 STIs, but not HIV. Cindy realized she'd made a huge mistake by trusting Jack. Every dream and commitment he made had come apart. She hoped to save her marriage, knowing Micah was stringent about adultery. Jack was already finished with Donna. If she and Micah were done, she considered Jack as her next option after court. She returned from a night in jail, ready to confront Micah later. He wouldn't return until his normal time. She spent the day looking about the house, deciding what she would take if Micah told her to leave. She decided to make breakfast for dinner with eggs, sausage, bacon, and toast. If Micah had eaten, she would eat the leftovers. I strolled into the kitchen, enticed by the aroma. "Micah, I am sorry for anything," she said. "I feel sorry. You should expect more from your wife than what I have done. I understand I cannot ask for your forgiveness. I apologize for following Jack's bad example." I spoke without being angry. "You're correct, Cindy. I cannot forgive you right now. I don't want to be angry forever. I have to let it go someday." She appeared beaten. "If you have not eaten yet, please join me. I promise the food is safe." We ate quietly, knowing this was the end of our marriage after we had cleaned up together. Then we headed into the den. "I'll have the papers sent to you at school tomorrow. They will complete it during your break in the teacher's room, so none of the students saw. I suppose I should be prepared to confront them if the court does not go. Well, I might also lose my job. Well, you still have $50,000 from your art sales to help you figure out what comes next," I replied, half joking. She was stunned by what I said. It made her assume I didn't realize she'd spent everything to save Jack. I held my cards close, not revealing what I knew or how I discovered out. "When do you need to go to court?" "In barely more than 3 weeks. So what should we do until then? I am not heartless. For the time being, we can leave things as is, but try to stay out of my way. We don't need to say much until you go to court. Only keep your belongings in your room, just like that." Our marriage collapsed peacefully in the following weeks. Jack worked hard at the new West Coast office, dealing with clients and improving the team's efficiency. He increased morale and profitability. He talked to Cindy on video every night, promising her that the court would only impose a little punishment, such as community service. With his divorce behind him and Cindy likely to follow, their relationship grew stronger. Cindy wanted she could join him, but the judge had ordered her to remain in the state until her court appearance. They truly missed each other. Jack's private investigator has discovered no relation between the kidnappings and Micah or Donna. They appeared innocent. Jack couldn't figure out who sent Cindy the footage that put her in trouble with Micah. He assumed the motorcyclists might want to sell it online to make some money. The detectives noticed Donna and Micah eating out together, which was not surprising given what had happened. Donna's new boyfriend remained a mystery. His main motivation for locating him now was to make him pay for kidnapping his wife. For Jack, time flew, but for Cindy and Anthony it dragged and felt extremely slow. In the 3 weeks till the court date, they were all worried. Despite the fact that Jack was confident about his future prospects, he assured Cindy that they had moved to the West Coast and would be happy after court. Losing her husband's love made that seem appealing to her on court day. Jack was confident they'd win. The 3 of them sat together with one lawyer. Donna and I were in the courtroom, prepared to speak. I said Jack forced me to phone the cops and report the phony kidnapping, demonstrating his involvement in the phony criminal plan. I was familiar with people in court since I worked as a court lawyer. One friend, the assistant district attorney, knew about the case, ruined his friend's marriage, and viciously assaulted the three. Jack's lawyer was not prepared for the difficult fight. Every defense was pulled apart in front of the judge. Jack wished he had requested a jury now. He liked the judge, but the compelling evidence Ada presented could not be disregarded. All three were found guilty. Jack, the main guy, was sentenced to 20 years in prison for big wire fraud and a lesser charge for fabricating a police report. Anthony, duped by Jack, received the same accusations, but only 12 years. Cindy wasn't involved in the larger crimes, but she did have a role in the smaller ones. She was sentenced to a year in jail and fined $5,000. Knowing that we were about to break up, the judge ordered that her fines be paid after we divided our belongings. This was to ensure that I would not have to pay for what she had done wrong. I considered honoring the judge with a bottle of his favorite wine, even knowing there would be an appeal. Ada assured me it would end the same way. They immediately took all three of them away. Jack was transferred to another room. When Donna and I entered, we found Jack handcuffed to the table. Donna and I kissed right there, which made Jack angry. "Why are you both here? And Donna, aren't you concerned that your new guy will be jealous?" Jack replied with a snarl. "The thing with getting stabbed in the back, Jack, is that it is never by your enemies. You stole my wife, I snatched yours, and I'm here to tell you that you lost. Big Donna is far superior to Cindy. Are you with her? I should have guessed. I'll get Donna back after this." He stated he was mad. "This is never going to happen, Jack," Donna replied firmly. "So you only come to make fun of me?" "No, Jack. I came to hear you say thank you. Thank you. For what, jerk?" "Well, knowing you would be imprisoned for a long period, I devised a plan for you to escape for a month. For some specialized training on how to please multiple men at once. I've heard you're extremely skilled now. Those talents should be quite beneficial to you. Where are you going?" I asked, laughing. "You did this to me," Jack shouted. "You will pay." "No, Jack. Have you already paid? What about the $50,000 you offered Cindy to be with her? We utilized it to teach you a lesson about those guys. You paid for it with your own money." Jack felt a tremendous sense of loss as he realized he had caused his own collapse. "How did you plan all of this?" he asked. "Oh, Jack, I can't reveal all my secrets. Just know that rage, fear, loss, and hope motivated me to do it. You've also lost your job at the legal firm. They do not want you since you are now a felon. You cannot practice law anywhere longer. Good luck correcting it. In addition, my lawyer will take whatever money you have left. It will assist pay for my wedding to Donna. Yes, she is marrying me. You are not required to pay alimony while in jail." Donna mentioned Monica's second good suggestion. "And what's the best advice?" Jack asked harshly, "abandoning you for him." "I'll have his children," she said. Jack understood now. Micah and Donna outsmarted him and Cindy. They made certain that he paid for his mistakes. Donna and I left him to sink in his own terrible thoughts. We decided not to see Cindy either. I assumed talking with her was a waste of time, but I was mistaken. Ada informed me that Cindy had asked to see me before I departed, so we went to visit her. She sat in a different room, not handcuffed, but a deputy was nearby. "Thank you for coming, Mike." "Oh, you brought Donna along? Can we speak alone?" "Donna, do you mind leaving?" Cindy inquired politely. "Cindy, everything I thought I understood about you, us, and what we owned, it feels like old stuff for the future. That is not occurring. Anything you'd like to say? You can say it to my fiancée here. We are not married yet, but we shall be. She and I will marry once I divorce you. You will not be invited." Cindy appeared shocked. She attempted to grin. "Donna, you're great. I've always admired how graceful you are. You're getting a wonderful dude, the best I have ever known. I didn't realize until it was too late that he will go to any length to protect those he cares about." Cindy began crying and looked at me. "I can't lose you, Michael," I replied harshly. "Do not underestimate yourself, Cindy. You have already lost me." "But explain why, Cindy. Does it matter?" "I suppose I need to know, but I believe it does. Do you think I haven't asked myself why? All I can say is that I felt stuck in the same old thing. Jack spoke of a wild adventure, a way to transform things. Yes, it was all about being bad. It aroused me in ways I hadn't considered. He suggested we swap partners. We attempted to start at the tango mess when that did not work. Jack devised a big plan to make it happen. I told him you wouldn't agree, but he thought he could persuade you by pressing the appropriate keys in the correct order. Donna, Esmeralda, and I. We all couldn't. I'm so sorry. I was mistaken. If I could go back. Okay, Cindy, I get it. You were bored and fell into his trap. I don't think I missed it. I noticed every time you were with him. No, you did not, she said plainly. We spent a lot more time together off screen. You just saw the parts that he decided to display. Alexander Hamilton once remarked that if you don't stand for anything, you will fall for anything. We have things to do. Why did you want to see me? I replied, embarrassed. She glanced down and uttered what she had to. Even if we couldn't stay married, I hoped we could be friends. The three of us, looking at Donna. Donna spoke quickly. Cindy, I didn't just let our friendship go. I flung it out hard. Cindy didn't respond to Donna and kept going. As you both know, I am going to have Jack's baby. I will have the baby when I am in jail. I was hopeful. No, I am asking you both. Take our child and keep it safe till I get out. It's only for a few months, I vow. I'll do anything to thank you, she implored. Donna stared at me, and we both knew. I apologize, Cindy. We don't ignore a newborn who has done nothing wrong. We really don't feel like we owe you or Jack anything. Seeing how you became pregnant in the first place, I was fooling around with who I believed was my best buddy. I thought I'd look after another man's baby, maybe ask Jack's relatives as it's his child, or perhaps your sister. Oh, that's right. She won't talk to you because you attempted to make me look bad that day at the lake with her daughter, Cindy sobbed as she handed me a tiny USB stick. I realize I've lost you, Micah, but please listen to this. It is free. We drove away, leaving her there crying. Donna became curious. She requested the USB, so I gave it to her. She connected it to our car's music system. There was only one song on it. Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor started playing. I was not moved. To me, it was her final attempt to reach out. Later, I sat in a booth in a Mexican bar. I'd never been here before and hadn't planned to return. A sharp-looking man called Miguel Lescano sat across from me. He appeared wealthy. It's good to see you again, Miguel started. Skip the meal, but try the tequila. Is it even now? He asked. I shook his hand with gratitude. Miguel, we are more than even. It was simple when you requested for my assistance. I was pleased to do that. Your proposal to incorporate a gay Mexican motorbike club was innovative. What if someone had done to my wife what they had done to yours? I would have made them pay long ago. The additional $50,000 you provided ensured that they were fully committed to the job. It turned out amazing, Miguel. My wife was as wounded as I was when she lied to me. Jack and Anthony learned essential skills that they will need in jail. Jack's wife left him. He was dismissed. He faces a lengthy prison sentence, and my lawyer has taken the most of his money for me. Seeing him suffer in this way is preferable to seeing him suffer much more severely. He has years to reflect about what he'd done. Oh, and his wife, congratulations on your plans to marry her. I'm sorry I can't attend your wedding. It's best if people don't associate us together. But I have a farewell present. It appears that the bikers uploaded several videos of Jack and Anthony that they had recorded. They post a lot on gay websites. There is enough to see. Here's $50,000 cash. It's a thank you for pointing out the actors. The writers will receive more than this over time. This is a surprise, Miguel. Please thank your pals from me. Donna and I will make good use of it. But won't this confirm what Jack stated and reveal who the bikers are? Do not worry, my friend. The motorcyclists had both men sign paperwork indicating that it was acceptable to use and share the videos. Furthermore, Jack and Anthony hold a small portion of the venture that profits from the videos. Every month they receive some cash in their bank account. This implies they cannot lawfully claim they were kidnapped or forced. You know, Micah, I could use someone like you on my team. You'd be highly compensated to work for me and my pals, Miguel explained. Sir, your offer is kind, but in exchange for not suing my own law company over what Jack did to my family and his helper's involvement in the crime, they handed me his position as a partner. Donna and I are relocating to the West Coast soon to start over. I might continue help out for free in some circumstances, but I believe this is an excellent work change. Micah, I'm thrilled for you. My son thanks you again for your assistance. I've kept him safe, and today he runs one of my actual clean businesses. I'm delighted to hear that. Please let him know that I hope he does well in my divorce. Cindy received half of what we owned jointly. I kept all of our belongings for her. I wanted to forget our past. We sold the house and she received her half. Her sister maintained her automobile until she was released from jail. We instructed Cindy to remain away from us. Donna learned from several acquaintances that Cindy was working at a steakhouse after leaving jail. I occasionally wondered how she was doing raising a child alone. I guessed she'd find someone new due of her appearance, but it wouldn't be me after I separated from Cindy. 3 months later, Donna and I married in a lavish ceremony. We went to Maui for our honeymoon. While we were abroad, our belongings were delivered to our new home in California. I was instructed to let Donna take charge. She knows how to make things appear good. She chose items we both liked for our home. Every day, I fell further in love with her. My new favorite old song was "Every Day with You, Girl." My favorite music for Donna was Coldplay's Yellow. As time passed, our love blessed us with 3 beautiful children, 2 girls and 1 boy. They brought us delight. I had never felt so thrilled. Donna may not have Cindy's large bust, but she made our lives so much better. We felt we had gotten the best price. It appears that she and I never really lost our best friends after all. Thank you for listening to today's stories. If you enjoyed listening, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, write a comment below with your thoughts on what